Fantastic job here.
Must be the shoes and that paint scheme.
To make it this far and to make it to this level, that competitive drive has to just be absolutely through the roof.
Just the idea of competing.
Alrighty.
At the end of the day, it's
Alrighty.
our egos chase.
Best track on the schedule.
Nature is what makes us who we are.
I'm not gonna change my mind on
A
that.
place like Kansas, that's kind of the name of the game.
Obviously, it's the site of my last victory, damn near 3 years ago. And so,
Yeah, I'm gonna change my
More hungry
mind
than ever.
on that.
You can see there in the piece that it's very clear the maturity of both Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace. And as they enter a racetrack today that's been 23XI's most successful track, Chris, it's going to be tough to bet against those guys as we get here later this afternoon.
Cup Series
thank
track
you, Regan. Some
provides
deep
better
thoughts. They've
races.
yet to
No Cup
win, but
Series
both
track.
Wallace and they're both Reddick. They're both okay in points in the big
better
picture. But I'm
racing.
just curious if, and I know a lot isn't discussed about the swirling legal issues in the
Let's put it
course
this way,
with
this-
NASCAR.
Kansas is the only track that made the 550
today
package look
to
good.
their team. But can that weigh on drivers as they prepare for races?
I don't think so. I think what really is probably more weighing on this team is expansion. They went to a third car this year.
Which
They've
to
got
this
4
day, I
cars
don't care
with
what
4
anybody
behind
says,
here this
550
weekend.
package is the
And to
worst
me,
package
those are the types
ever
of things
wrong,
that take
period.
away from the details to the other teams while you're trying to figure out
not even
where all
close.
the people should be. Where should I put this guy? Is that guy good with him? All those things acquire more parts, pieces. When you have more stuff to put into a system from
Not
rapidly
even
from 2
close.
cars, to me, that's the piece that takes away a little bit from each of the other cars.
Yeah, the only thing that weighs on a driver from that perspective is that steering wheel. How's this hot rod gonna handle when I get down to the other end? And when they're fast, it doesn't matter. Life's good. When it's not, it's extremely hard, and you have to lean on all those people, all the parts and pieces, the depth of the organization. When you talk about this organization,
the next
they're
gen
young,
at least.
and they're
Kurt won the
hungry,
first
and
next
they're
gen race
happy.
here.
They've won races. They've been knocking on the door. They've done all the things right as
And
a
then
young
Bubba
group, and it's
won.
very impressive.
Yeah, I would say
Sweep
Reddick
the
has been a
races
little bit
for
off
that
this year from
car.
where he ended last year. Started the season off strong,
Kansas
but
races
as
for
of
that
lately
car.
hasn't been quite as strong. But if you look at Bubba Wallace, they're not necessarily getting the finishes that as how well they're
Then,
running, and you can see that if you look at the stage points right there. Bubba Wallace scored 100 stage points. That's almost a third of his total points have been scored in stages. That tells me they're qualifying well and they're racing well throughout the race. Maybe not.
Well,
closing
I
the
don't
deal
think
out,
they
but he's
have
got
the
Bubba
electronic
and his
timing
teammates
scoring to
running.
go out that
Yeah,
far.
in the points
Thunder.
because of being able to accumulate all those stage
And
points. So
HRA
not
does,
as bad
but
as it
I don't
appears.
think NASCAR does. I think NASCAR one goes out without for the second.
This year, only the 5th year for that organization. All right, let's check in with our pit reporters bouncing back
I
and
don't know,
forth.
because I think I know the finish in the Xfinity Series was under 1,000 for the second. They might have the 5th digit.
For Denny Hamlin. So he's focused on trying to win today, Denny. But it's a big moment for your company as a team owner. You have 4 cars in the field today. How do you balance all of that as you race as well?
I'm trying to remember, because I didn't know if they did or didn't.
Increase my odds to win, really. I mean, having 5 cars in the race, including myself. So I think all of them's got a great shot. Looking forward to today, man. Beautiful day for a race, and this is a track we got to get it done.
Have fun today.
Thank you.
Josh?
All right, over here with Ryan Blaney. Made his first career start here at Kansas, so special place for you here today, right?
It is. It's nice to come back here. I think the World Group Ford Mustang has some good speed in it.
Let's see, having gone to a race before myself, Drew, grandstands are sitting in the heat of the sun.
Daniel Suarez starting 8th.
Yeah, I don't think the crowd would be as anxious to return to the stands at least until race time.
Yeah, the little piece of metal.
Depending on how warm it is, too.
I think they call it the gas pedal. You got to stop.
Well, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be in the grandstands until I know it was close to the end race
Together
time.
Saturday is better, so definitely a step in the right direction. Hopefully,
Closer to it, anyway.
we can continue our Sundays because our Sundays they
But
have
then,
been
yeah,
decent. So
race
hopefully we can
altitude was in
make some
August,
progress in our
so.
Sunday and be good for today.
Michigan
I'm
in
trying to open my
August,
coat
yeah,
here,
it's
but it's about to explode, so
fun.
I have to be careful.
Careful, you're going to have sticky hands in the race car there. Good luck. Jamie?
Well, William Byron had a good time last night in the Truck Series, ended up finishing 2nd. But how about today? What are you guys looking forward to? I heard a lot about the 24 in the garage.
Yeah,
Ain't no way in hell. Shadow, get out of here. Are you kidding me? Bullshit.
So I honestly just told Rudy, I'm like, man, I just
Here.
wouldn't touch it much. So,
If you like Texas more than Dega, you like
I think
Rex.
we just weren't quite trimmed out enough, but overall,
If you like Texas, I'm
today, so I'm excited.
state this right now. If you like Texas more than Dega, you like Rex. You literally like Rex. There's no other argument you could make in that than the fact that you like Rex. Straight up.
Of a tire problem that we had yesterday. That's out of our control, unfortunately.
That's the only argument you could make.
Just means time to put on the show, Regan.
Reddick underneath the driver's introduction stages over here. Tyler, getting ready to start at a racetrack you have won at before. How excited do you get when you see
we saw that in 2018, 17, 16, 15. Is that the first time we've seen that at
The
Dega?
best lap on my part in qualifying, but it's nice when you
So to
see
make
it.
the argument, oh, it's because it's,
Looking
because
to,
it's,
you know, capitalize on the speed we had in practice in this race early and maintain track.
we've seen it before.
All right, good luck in the race today. Chris, it's chaos back here, but the drivers are
If that's
all
your
on news
argument
now.
as to why Talladega is boring,
Before they hop in the
you need to
cars.
find a
Coming
new
up, we're talking
argument.
with Ross Chastain, last fall's Kansas winner. Hoping to get into victory.
Did you even watch super speedway races before the tandem racing, or even after the tandem racing?
Chase Elliott, the only driver with a top 20 finish in every race this season, but he wants that win. It's a fast track here in Kansas.
Hey! Long time no see. What you been up to, What If? Been a long time. I've actually been meaning to try to see what you've been up to. I mean, yeah, what have we been up to?
That doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's, where the subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what they're all
It's been a
about.
while. I can't remember the last time I remember seeing you in one of these. What If? Good to see you again. Hope everything's going okay.
Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above. Iced tea? Come on, Liquid Death. This is like
I think we've both been busy to watch and see what the other's doing, so. I'm sorry, that's weird to see you semi-retired. I know that's what you said you were going to do, but it just feels weird to see you semi-retired. Especially considering I'm older. You know? Also, if she's not in here yet, I know she hasn't commented yet, but everybody please tell Bumble Happy Mother's Day. And tell your own mother Happy Mother's Day too, but I know I did.
Pro Plan Sport, incredible, happens here. But it starts here. Pro Plan Sport, advanced nutrition for strength and stamina.
The Memphis Showboats. Battle the San Antonio Brahmas.
No, we don't blame B on Mother's Day, Shadow. Any other day of the week, yeah, you can blame B, but not on Mother's Day. It's kind of funny, What If, that you joined in later, because I literally was saying when I started that, you know, Kansas is such a good racetrack that Kansas made the 550 package look good. You know? This probably is, at least, well, this is my opinion, again. Everybody's got their own, but in my opinion, Kansas is the best racetrack on a Cup schedule. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It is the best racetrack. And equipment. Howdy. Equipment, too. Look at how much equipment gets torn up in ARCA. From a business standpoint, it wouldn't make sense for Kyle to put Brexton in ARCA if so much equipment gets torn up.
First race of the round of 12. And Chastain said, my goal is to play the
Yeah, 100%. This is time and time again this track delivers.
Let the celebration begin. We won. It's a huge deal.
Or you don't need to parrot my point. I already made that point. You don't need to parrot it.
Comes from the watermelon farming family in Florida. It must be a
Pretty
big
much everybody
deal
that's a
to
viewer
say
of mine
Mike
knows
Commissioner Steve Phelps
knows
came over
that.
here to say hi.
I've said that
You were
before, that you
second
need
last
Rex to
week.
be
You
entertained.
won here
And
last year, as we saw. I know where you were saying, hey,
you never really were
back
watching it
back
for the
on
racing in the
field.
first
How was your
place.
confidence for today?
It's good. We've got some watermelons fresh from Florida in the holler.
I mean, by far the worst race this year, I think, has been Texas.
But for our Busch Light Chevy, we should have been up there around my teammate
At least
with Daniel.
my
I
opinion.
thought we were going to be 10 to 12, and I way overcommitted in turn 3.
You were going for first.
But then again, that's me. Everybody's going to be different.
I spoke with Phil yesterday, you know, asked him about your guys' season.
That's what makes
he's like, we need to get a little better on
sport
Saturday.
so interesting.
What do you
is
feel
the
like you're
different
missing on Saturday?
opinions.
Do you feel like they did a better job this weekend for you?
Absolutely. Yesterday was better. When
It's good that you're back with us because...
Texas, some of these races.
Well, if you had watched any of my previous ones, I've gone off on some rants this year.
The way I did yesterday.
Not so much on NASCAR either.
But if it turned, it was going to be a heck of a lap. But at Texas, I never had that confidence. I would have never went the throttle the way I did. So with these Gen 7 cars, I feel like you have to be able to.
I'll say
turn
Portal
the wheel
vouched for me for this one. I know Hamill will when he's in here, but
everything's very
there was one I had on Discord the other night where I just went off.
To lean on and track bar.
So
if that thing doesn't feel right,
absolutely went off. So
and Phil gave me that yesterday. I messed up qualifying.
So
yeah, I know. We got the bed, we got the chair.
Racetrack for you in general.
I got my Dairy Queen shake.
From a driving style standpoint, what makes this track fit you?
Phil Surgeon.
I know vanilla. I'm a white boy.
Makes me good here, and this is one of the tracks that New Hampshire's another one, totally different, but that he has taught me and molded me and given me cars that will let me be confident and drive them fast. So. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we have won a truck race here with Nice Motorsports, back our first win together.
What can I say? I like vanilla.
Running the wall is not something I did growing up in South Florida. We ran 3/8 mile asphalt tracks, and we were in the dirt on the inside.
Yeah,
I mean,
too.
trying to just go as low as you could, and so I put a lot of work in. I've been a Chevy teammate with Kyle Larson for a long time, and I put a lot of work into studying him, and driving a Chevy and driving for Phil Surgeon sure does help.
All right, we talk about it every week, Kevin and I up there in the booth, talk about momentum, the importance of momentum. We're going to start with this. Trackhouse didn't have a great start to the season, right? Where's Chad?
No, Coda was probably the best race this season, honestly.
Your teammates
I don't know.
You 4 out of the last 5, just boom, 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 boom. Momentum, second last.
Hold on a second. I know I had for a minute. I had Coda as the best race this season.
It is, and it takes us some time. You see that.
Let me go back and look at this real quick.
The qualifying out here is not anything to compare to Texas or these other ones like Bristol. So this is a legitimate top 10 car that should have qualified there, and just the driver messed up. And I want to make sure everybody knows that because I was so vocal last week about
make up for it right now.
The driver's done a lot right though this year.
So yes, the executing through the races has been our strongest.
Yeah.
I appreciate your candor. Real quick, our research.
Yeah, Coda was the best one we've had this year.
That's a major factor here. Do you feel we're going to see a lot?
Coda's my number 1, and Texas is my bottom.
Three starts coming, so there's going to be more. This is Cup racing.
That's how I put it right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of prep that goes into that, a lot of work, and a lot of effort. It's not an accident. Some of the numbers that when they put them on the board, I'm like, whoa, that's awesome.
There she is.
A lot of it's circumstances, and I feel like taking
Happy Mother's Day, Bumble.
Holes on the track, but they pay off sometimes off turn 2.
All right, they'll be calling it, and we'll watch it closely. Thanks for coming by. Good luck to you.
Good luck, man.
Appreciate Ross being with us. Let's check out
Homestead was okay.
On what people think, and among the favorites, of course, Larson Blaney looking for that first win of the year. Tyler Reddick is on the board. Chris Buescher here. Talk about Joey Logano as well. Now on the long shots here, these are the I guess John Hunter and Nina Jack has got some quite the long shot for a race like today. Yeah, we run more 1.5 miles than any other track. And we are in the 12th race of the season, so nobody got it right last week. That's okay. Logano surprised a lot of people. So who do you like this week? It'd be your race pick, Clint. If I know you've worked on this.
Who you got, Clint?
Yeah.
I said it earlier. I want redemption.
See this one.
It's redemption time. They're starting up front on the pole. It's his opportunity on this front row. Chris Buescher.
These two for that.
Get his redemption.
Yeah, the guy I'm going to take, I just saw by here, Denny Hamlin. He's won here 4 times.
Do that for the first one.
The practice, he's like, it's perfect. I think Denny Hamlin can get it done again today.
Well, I like the guy on the pole.
Shit. It's like 3 something.
Kyle Larson against his right rear tire. I think that's the battle today.
I think it's like 315, 330. Ron. Is the actual green flag.
I went with the obvious. Who did I pick earlier in the meeting?
Larson. He always picks Larson, but it was nice you guys to share the big names. But
they start 3rd and 4th, Bumble. Bell starts 3rd, Reddick starts 4th.
And the Penske Fords, right? 0 for 9, and then they come in after winning the last 2 races. Kevin and Clint will head up.
Now you see, I did this before. I'm going to do it again because I was thinking about it the other day. I want to know, get kind of an update on this. So
Larson, Leah Byron, Kenny Hamlin, or Joey Logano. Good luck. Joey dropped by a little bit earlier, talked about that sense of relief after getting a win under his belt. Three-time champ who has 3 wins here as well. The Midwest, known for folks being polite, courteous, and always stepping aside to let others move by, but I don't know if we could expect much of that today.
it's on FS1. It's not on Fox.
Will be out for himself.
Hey, racing fans, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered on all your NASCAR betting action this season. From race winner to matchups and everything in between. This week, DraftKings has an exclusive offer for racing fans.
Hang on a second.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
Hang on a second. I forgot.
When you sign up. And you can download
Almost forgot.
Happy Hour podcast on your favorite
Gotta wear my hats.
on all the storylines on and off.
Although my luck, and at least on iRacing this week, doing the truck race at Kansas, the trucks are at Kansas, has been about as bad as Blaney's luck. Like I've been caught up. I've run 4 races and been caught up in people's messes every time. I need one race where I don't get caught up in somebody else's shit. Yeah, so I got 2 up right now. I got the prediction, and I've got a poll that I want to do because we were debating this the other day in my Discord, and I know I put up a poll before about it. Yeah. Well, I mentioned in my Discord that if anybody could find me the stat for the last time that the 1-2 finishers from a race started first and second the very next year, I was curious as if it's ever happened. I'm sure it has, but... Oh, so what's up, Rap? So yeah, there's 2 things that are up right now if you're just joining. I have my channel point prediction for Stage 1, and just a curious poll because I know I've done that same poll in here before. I think I did it last year in here. But I'm curious to know what the current one is right now, most hated. So, oh damn, Bubba. No, Rabbit. Not planning on it this year. Maybe next year. We'll see. Oh yeah, Kansas. I love watching Kansas. So.
Since 1925, Goodyear Blip has been inspiring fans to keep looking up and keep driving forward.
Somewhere over the rainbow lies a land where legends are made. A road paved by sweat.
And if we ever work it out, what if I'd love to have you guest star at a stream once? Oh, come on.
In Kansas, speed gets you on the track.
Of course, the supernatural fan in me is like, yes, Kansas. But
storms are fierce.
a good song nonetheless.
The stakes are high. And the only way home
Don't you cry no more.
is victory. So click your heels 3 times. This is Kansas.
Those. As much as I like Carry On My Wayward Son, I also like How Long. No, Point of No Return. Point of No Return, sorry.
And it's a beautiful day, a beautiful Mother's Day.
Well, I have a Discord, Rabbit. But I usually try to do when it's just the race streams. Most of the time it's just me. Once in a while I'll pull out like a special, like I'll do for the finale where I have my quote-unquote Discord calls like I know Roots has done, but...
And my grandma Janice. I know you guys are watching, so enjoy the race. Root on this Menards.
Oh, the Fall Kansas race, Bumble, that one? You picked an interesting one to go to. Yeah, I would definitely want to go. I've been to Kansas, just not race weekend. Thanksgiving weekend 2006, I was down there to visit family, and we literally drove past the racetrack. So.
Happy family. Oh, could you come here? There we go. Yeah, it's a little. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
So I've witnessed the racetrack.
Future wife is gonna have another child here in a few weeks. Got my mom here. The reason I'm here. Got our kids, just full of women.
I kind of help name her. Can I help name that?
Yes, I'll give you permission. What's your suggestion?
It's Michael Jordan. Michael.
Actually,
Jordan.
Michael. Did he call her Michelle Jordan? Michelle Jordan, because then you can use MJ and still have the reference to Michael Jordan. If you wanted to. Just saying. I mean, Michelle Jones is the acronym for MJ in the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, so.
A beautiful day, and I know family means the world to you, so I hope you show out today.
I hope so. Good run, be nice for us. Good Mother's Day.
Thank you, Eric. See if we
You see, that's what I thought.
I didn't mean to knock you out of the way. See if we can find John.
That's absolutely what I thought when I saw that. Yeah, that's what I thought with that poll is where it is now.
Is it for you to be able to share this beautiful holiday with your family?
It's amazing. It's nice to have Taylor here and the girls here to be able to celebrate Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day to Taylor, but also all of the other great moms out there. Wishing you a great day.
That's awesome. How does it feel to have your name on the car, Taylor?
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
How you doing?
Good.
He's doing good. Let's see who else we can find. Hey, Zane.
Yeah, Michelle Jourdain, yeah.
Yeah, feeling great. Got a fast, big...
Jourdain was an IndyCar driver. He was, well, kart/IndyCar, but that's what he made his name in before he made the couple of NASCAR starts he did. I think he tried to run the full Busch Series season in 05.
All right, thank you, Zane and Inze. All right, Jamie, we're getting closer to... Oh, I got a chuckle over there. Thanks for working with me. All right, got some guys back in the pack. You know, Barry, it's funny, he practiced very well with high speed, but qualified last. You got Keselowski. Kyle Busch is back there as well. Who you watching?
Yeah, I mean, Chastain, the guy we just talked to, said his car was good. You mentioned Barry crashed actually in qualifying.
What's interesting is Chastain kind of came out of nowhere in the fall race, well, last fall to win this race, so could we see a surprise? Could we see a surprise today? I mean, we did last year. This race last year as far as surprises, but made out a winner, but I just remember him being in the EA games, Bumble.
Chief Executive Officer of Pastor Serve, Pastor Jimmy Dodd.
Speaking of which, I just recently got back into playing my Thunder 03 career that I have on the emulator, so gonna have a pretty good season over there. Finished a little more than half the races in the top 5 so far.
And every fan, may you bring us home safely at the end of this day.
Under. I'll take the under port.
Of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome from the United States Air Force Band.
And how do you have half a spin?
Derek Wilson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the
Casey. Let's hear it for the KC-135 from the 350th Air Refueling Squadron out of McConnell Air Force Base in Wichita, Kansas. The Toyota Tundra. We are free.
It got hard to believe we're less than 2 weeks away. 14 days away from the Indy 500. Really, I guess you could say the kickoff to the summer, Memorial Day weekend.
NFL schedule will be released soon. The stage electric. Quarterbacks define this rivalry. A Super Bowl rematch for the ages. So what?
Larson and Hamlin are good picks here. Reddick's a good pick. As much as I agree with Blaney, I'm a little hesitant with him because I don't so much recall his track record here, but that's some solid ones, Sonic, for your other picks. Larson, Hamlin, and Reddick for sure. Especially Hamlin and Larson. Especially Hamlin when it comes to Kansas.
Coming to the line. So close. Incredible. It's Larson. What?
0.00.
Well, 0-0-1.
Every corner, every gap, every moment is theirs. Take everything.
That was tight. That was threading the needle there, wasn't it?
Nothing. Just win. And worry about the rest later.
Closest finish. Well, since we went to the electronic timing scoring in Cup Series history. To think last year when this race happened, I didn't think the race at Darlington would ever be beat.
At Kansas Speedway, just about 20 miles west of
We tied it in 2011 at Dega, and then we beat it last year here. So.
Now it is surrounded by sports stadiums and shopping. But what a place this is.
Well, that race was also good too because the late race battle between Kurt and Kyle as well. What if? So I saw the highlights, Sonic. I didn't watch it because I was doing something else, but
to master his home track, and Kevin Harvick, who won here 3 times. What makes this track just so much fun to drive and so competitive? I mean, 1,000th of a second at the finish line last year.
Well, Mike, it is very competitive, and I think from a driver's standpoint, it gives you a lot of options. You can move to the bottom of the racetrack and pull that slide job. The preferred lane is going to be around the fence, but it is a very racy racetrack, and anytime that you give the drivers option, they get braver.
Guys, if you build it, they will come. This place has been like a good bottle of wine. It just keeps getting better and better and better as it ages. Just shopping while you talk about there's a casino on the back straightaway. My oh my.
well, you're gonna have to move somebody into that role too, PRK.
Puts it right up against the wall for these guys.
You know.
Preferred groove, but how do you pass that car in front of you if he's in it? You move around. Track is very wide. Restart.
I can see them putting Kevin into the main role at that point.
They're all up front, buddy. You've got Larson and Buscher, those two. That finish that Kevin just talked about, mano a mano on the front row. Who can outduel? Will the redemption come to Buscher? I just said in the pre-race, man, I hope so. That was a crushing blow. It was hard to call last year. It felt so bad for him.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. There are a lot of players up front, but we've got some very good cars in the middle of the field and at the 48 of Alex Bowman right in the middle of the field.
The bad thing with Buscher is the fact that he probably should have won 3 races last year. Came within an eyelash of winning this race last year. Darlington.
Now 4 cars there. from 2311, just kind of added into
So.
the mix. And you talked about the two drivers on the front row, but it's really a triumvirate. Add Christopher Bell into the mix because he and Larson have had just some epic races on dirt, on asphalt, in the Cup Series. They have battled back and forth for wins. So look at that. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, 1, 2, 3. That's parity, Clint.
Well, we don't know what a triumvirate is why I didn't go there. But Reddick, Reddick is right behind him. And then last week's winner, Logano. What do you call that? Is there a big word for that one, too? Oh, I got him right there.
He's thinking. I love it. You got him thinking.
Moral of the story is, in my opinion, the hitters are all around.
Ty starting top 5. Yeah, I'd watch at 54.
It takes is one caution and all hell breaks loose, and it'll be right here at my hometown, Kansas Speedway.
All I know is if I ever had a hand with 5 of a kind, there was going to be fighting.
Or excuse me, starting 7. No. Yeah,
right,
he was starting
ready to
5th.
race in America's heartland. Let's go trackside.
Kansas Speedway, help us celebrate Mother's Day in a big way. Here to deliver the most famous words in motorsports. Some of
You got a couple of them.
moms.
Drivers, start your engine!
They cut the mic as somebody was firing their car.
So happy Mother's Day, Gay, and to Delana and Laura from all of us up here in the Fox booth, and to all the moms. Let's go racing.
We are green.
2 weeks. Nope. Nope, I won't solve it.
Iced tea? Come on, Liquid Death. This is like my grandma's energy drink.
You're all here to play a game.
I don't have a developed sense of morality.
Everyone's lying to me. Where?
The Snake series premiere Tuesday, June 10th on Fox.
Baseball Night in America, Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
This is my secret service. Camera 9, zoom in. That is one fat rat. Stop cooking. This restaurant is closed.
It's usually not good if he's walking through the door.
Oh boy. Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service premieres Wednesday, May 21st on Fox.
Gordon Ramsay really need another series. What is this, like his 15th series now? Always be like somebody's watching me. Of course people are watching me. I'm on Twitch. Hey! I will not take Bumble slander in here. Nothing could be further from the truth.
Big crowd on hand in Kansas, a lot of families. Love to see kids at
Do
the
a little
racetrack.
slack cars here.
with their moms, of
Actually,
course.
no.
Nothing better.
All right, the field has begun to roll off behind the pace car. Clint, how about we get a word with our pole sitter, dare we?
Let's do it. How about you, Kyle Busch? Or Kyle Larson. Oh, this is going to be a good one.
Oh,
Kyle Larson.
Clint. Clint, you can't do that to Larson. Larson, please tell me you got to come back for that. Please tell me you got to come back for that.
I'm going to start over. We're live on television. Lakeside down the way. High limits race, brick car race for you. you. You stole the pole right there at the end of qualifying.
Please tell me, Larson, please tell me you have a comeback for that. Come on.
Here, Kansas Speedway. I finally got it out.
Well, Jamie McMurray.
There you go.
Surface should be slick. Hopefully we can do a good job keeping up.
Well, Jamie McMurray. I knew Kyle was going to have a good one there.
All right, buddy. Good luck out there. That's what I get for interviewing friends on the air.
Remember last year?
Oh, that's great.
Finish in the history of NASCAR. Kyle Larson stealing it.
It's like, Clint, where are we?
From Chris Buescher by the closest margin ever. Yesterday, Kyle Larson was the last driver to run for qualifying, and he steals the pole from Chris Buescher. But that's our front row. Chevy.
Buescher's like, I've got everything. Notices Kyle Larson's the last car to go. Damn it! Why can't Chris Buescher have nice things, Kyle Larson?
When I talked to them earlier, they said we are not over that yet. The best way to get over it is going to be a win today. Their best qualifying position of the year in second. They feel very good about the car. If they can keep him in the top 5 all day long, they think they can maybe start to erase those wounds.
Thanks, Regan. Here's the rest of the starting lineup for the Advent Health 400. Christopher Bell's Toyota inside of row number 2, along with Tyler Reddick. 2 Toyotas in row 2. Here's Josh Sims.
Well, Mike, 2311 has been extremely strong here at Kansas. This 45 car has won 3 of the last 6 races at this track. I caught up with the team earlier today.
Well, actually, it's blue and white versus blue and white.
Here at Kansas, and they said, yes,
You have Larson's blue and white car and then Buescher's blue and white car.
We went back as a team. We consulted with our drivers, both Tyler and Bubba, came back with some more intel on how we could be better here. Well, they came back yesterday. Tyler felt really good about the car. Good on the short run, good on the long run. Look for that 45 to be a major factor later on here today.
Row 3, we've got last week's winner, Joey Logano, and Joe Gibbs Racing's Ty Gibbs. Row 4, we've got William Byron.
That reminds me now. I should do that while I'm waiting. It won't be uploaded till tonight, but Texas reaction I got to put on my channel.
Chase Elliott on his outside, Ryan Blaney. Row 6. Been fast on Saturdays. Can he get it done today? Michael McDowell, and on his outside, Justin Haley.
Row number 7, the Talladega winner, Austin Cindric in a Ford, and 4-time Kansas winner, Toyota-mounted Denny Hamlin. Jamie Little.
And Mike, the last time we saw Denny Hamlin, he went up in smoke last week at Texas after losing that engine. It was the worst finish of the year. Now he comes here to Kansas. This is the site of his first ever Cup career start. That was 20 years ago. He was actually auditioning for the seat that he still holds today. As far as that car, that race car, well, they told me it definitely will be in contention. They feel like they have a great long run car. Keep your eye on that 11, Mike. He's going for win number 5 here at Kansas.
All right, thanks, Jamie. That's your top 14. The rest of the starting lineup will be on the pylon. And a number of drivers had issues in practice or in qualifying, and there are these 7 cars that will give up their qualifying spot. And
Oh, well, so much for Ty's starting spot. Well, it is Kansas, though, so
Was at the top of the chart, qualified 6th. Josh Berry, he's been
probably one of the best tracks for being able to pass.
a lot of good parts.
A lot of figuring this air pressure out, Kevin. We're going to get that in a minute.
I did it already, Olivia. You missed it.
At Busch Beer on X and enter using hashtag Busch All for One, hashtag sweepstakes during every lap that ends in a 1 to enter. Now let's check with our crew chief, Larry McReynolds.
You know, Mike, Kansas Speedway is an interesting 1.5-mile track. It has progressive banking, 17 degrees at the bottom,
Oh, no, I wanted
up
to do
20 degrees
that.
against the wall. Kevin talked about it. This gives a driver a lot of options to move around to find speed. Now, today you're going to hear a lot of terms like aero tight, aero blocking, dirty air, clean air. Let's go to our Toyota.
Well, you think about it.
Show you exactly what's going on when you hear
Denny's only had one quote. He's only had one winless season in that car.
roughly 600 pounds, but look what happens
In all the full-time seasons he's been in the Cup Series, he only had one winless season. 2018. And he's been in the championship for how many appearances? Been a title contender before.
mirror driving. The trail car keeps
It's hard for me to see Denny leaving that car other than leaving it for retirement.
Guys, we'll see drivers moving around all race long to find speed and grip, but mainly trying to find clean air to help the aerodynamics of that race car.
You see in that illustration.
That's honest opinion. I don't think Denny's going to leave that car until he retires.
Front tires are not there. The preferred groove today will be that top lane, and so you'll see guys try to run in that top lane, but you've got options here at Kansas.
So for the second week in a row, we have a perfect day for a Mother's Day and a race day. 81 degrees, light breeze, full sun, and that track temp is already up to 127 degrees. So today we'll run 400 miles. That's 267 laps on a mile and a half. And like the last couple weeks.
No, Denny would go drive for his own team. I don't think so. I think once when he gets out of the 11 car, that's going to be it, because they're competitive. Why would you leave a competitive car to go to a car that might not necessarily be as good, or as good, I should say?
We're in the Mars portion of the season, right? And I think these stage points, when you look at that bubble picture and the playoff scenario, very, very important to capitalize on those on these racetracks like this.
And I think it's keeping a lot of guys in the game, so we'll see how that shakes out today. But usually that starts with starting up front.
Good audio.
That's where Joey Logano is. He starts fifth. There's his radio.
Guys, let's keep the momentum going. Make it certain spot. We'll do what we can to maintain this track position, get some stage points, position ourselves for the end here. Good luck in there.
Well, we heard Joey talk in the pre-race, and I'm not sure what to think about his car today. He wasn't 100% confident in that. So
he wasn't confident in it last week either, and got the job done.
Yeah, but I felt like he thought it was better last week than he was supposed today. But the thing he's got going on this week, starting in the front.
Huh. We have to check it later, find out why it's not.
This week, Chase Briscoe carrying the Toyota Cam in his number 19.
All right.
Todd Gilliland, one of those cars.
This is it.
Todd in the 34. That is the Ford Performance Cam.
Let's hope. Let's see if this can be the best race of the season, like it tends to always be on my ranking.
In Tyler Reddick's Toyota.
We'll find out.
It's clean air. You're going to see these cars pan out, spread out, and it's going to happen right here.
And we're green.
Get off into turn one. Here we go.
Well, the thing I noticed immediately right there as we went to those in cars is they sped the pace up. You could hear those cars starting to speed the pace up, but immediately we're 4 wide, Mike.
4 wide, middle of the field on back as
3 and 4. Oh! I think for a second, Bowman almost squeezed Dillon for a second there. Austin.
Looked like Austin Dillon there got stuck in the middle of the.
I think Dillon got squeezed between Bowman and one other car, but I couldn't see who the other car was.
Well, it's like this track is a giant funnel. You enter 4 wide in turn 1. By the time you get to start finish, you're 1 or 2 wide. Then it goes back to 3 and 4 when you get into the middle of the corner.
Bell to second place around Busher.
I know on iRacing in the truck races that I did, the outside was the lane you wanted to be in. That's where I was making my time. Be interested to see. Now the outside tends to be the fast lane here, but that's as you go in a run.
The high pace that does the damage. So this is when they got to take care of those tires and manage everything that they can. So
Bell took second from Busher.
As this run goes on.
Big moves from the middle of the pack and on back. Bubba Wallace up 5 spots. Bowman in the 48, who had to start in the rear, he's up 6 positions.
Byron trying to see if he can get at Logano.
Well, we expect Alex Bowman to be strong today, and right now you see William Byron going by the 22 car of Joey Logano. Another really strong car in practice. Those Hendrick cars all looked really good.
Oh, absolutely.
Brad up 5 spots.
Such a William Byron type of a racetrack.
Bowman red ride. Blaney making the bottom work.
Yeah, and you see those guys on the bottom of the racetrack right now. As this day goes,
and around Suarez.
To get spread out. The top groove will be the preferred groove. And
Hocevar around Hamlin. Is that yeah? No, that's Haley.
Like Carson Hocevar is doing right there. You want to cover that line as you see Denny Hamlin move down.
Hocevar is 2 back.
Right there.
And let me correct, Bowman did
teammates actually right there.
He started 19th. He is up into the top 10. He was not one of those 7 cars.
I was watching Heim and this big opportunity for him. He did not get a good start to this race. Slipped back. I think he's back 8 positions right now. Welcome to the big leagues, bud.
Yeah, and Corey Hyman's done a great job. This is his first race with 2311 as the fourth car.
You're fine.
When you look at these starts in the Cup Series, yeah,
Started
Cup Series
at
chaotic,
the back.
Xfinity Series is chaotic, but
Josh Berry, who started shotgun.
Used to a start like this until you actually just go out there and do it, and he's definitely getting trial.
Winner at Vegas, the guy I thought looked so good at Texas last week, until he had his problem.
Moved his way up to 9th, a gain of 10 spots from where he started 19th.
Well, Alex Bowman was really good on the long run charts yesterday. We felt like his car was one of the best cars. His time showed that on every chart that we had up. So we expect Alex Bowman to keep moving towards.
Well, we'll see.
Out of turn 4, one car just went up in smoke and drops down to the bottom. I think that's
AJ done blow up.
Yeah, big blow up right there. But so I didn't see blue smoke at that. It was almost like it was water.
It did. It looked more white than blue.
For sure, it was white.
As if it was coolant.
Well, it's been a miserable weekend for that 16 car. They've definitely had some trouble getting their car going up to the speed that we've been accustomed to the last few weeks.
Well, this will become another meme this week of we've elected a pope, white smoke, and he's from the Midwest.
Big time.
Pope Leo the 14th.
This is what joint pain.
That's like the best one I saw was the Popeyes one. Pope yes, Pope no. That was probably the best one I saw.
Joint pain relief. Aleve. Strength to last 12 hours.
You've earned it, so hold it up high. You might not be late, but you're still
The white smoke and black smoke. The other one I saw was the one that, for those that are the NFL people, was the
give your whole heart.
That Chicago elected a new pope before they had a 4,000-yard passer.
You are a fighter. This is your role. Medella, the mark of a fighter.
You're all here to play a game.
I don't have a developed sense of morality.
Everyone's lying. Where?
Trailer for what? You just said trailer, but you didn't say trailer for what, Sonic. You say, did you see the trailer? Trailer for what? What trailer? I think he did, Thomas. It caught the end of the audio, but it sounded like he did rip
This restaurant is closed.
What?
I have the 4.6 Google rating. There's rat droppings everywhere. Where's that on your Google rating?
Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service premieres May 21st on Fox.
No, I don't, Sonic. You've done that to me before. Like, did you do this? Do what? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, I will say I did see Thunderbolts. That was fun. Of course, that was last weekend. Well, you guys say that, but he never once said that in his comments. He just said, did you see the trailer? Trailer to what? You never once said what you saw, what you were talking about. You just go, oh, did you see the trailer? Trailer for what? Actually, there's two, Olivia. There's a teaser trailer that had the Tom Petty song with it, and then there's the one that just came out, what, I think this past week? So there's two out.
Huge news. You can get a son of.
Which, if that's the question, yes, and I've seen both, but
Son of. Look at the words. Son of Baconator is $3. Thank you. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
it's just going to be on the same level as GTA 5, just a little higher quality is all.
Nice try, kid. Only pay for what you need.
Under the first caution of the day.
Well, yeah, that's what they screwed us with, I think, on the Indiana Jones game, because I had the game pre-ordered. Didn't say anything about needing the bigger card for it. Nope, you need something higher quality.
So under this caution at lap 7, Alex Bowman, the first to pit from 9th, and several others joined him. Larry, let's talk strategy.
Yeah, this is still outside the fuel window right here. Remember, it's about 65 laps. They pitted at lap 8. I'll never rule out that you can't make it, though. But some other strategy, 4 tires is the way to go. But don't be afraid to roll the dice, changing just 2 tires, especially late in the stage or in the race. Split the stages in half, possibly coming a few laps earlier to take advantage of those 4 fresh tires. And this is the theme of 2025. Don't beat yourself with mistakes on pit road. 11 pit road speeding penalties at Texas, 37 combined here in the 6 races with the Gen 7 car. That's the most of all mile-and-a-half tracks.
But it's also right in line with the theme.
Well, you had the horse racing track in 5 random, so
Differentiated with the rest of the pack. Do something different.
doesn't surprise me.
Right in your hand.
And on this restart, you will feel like you have a.
All right, who's going to be the movers here?
Tires beat on the car. Used tires in a restart here are really tough, especially when the pack is so congested like it is here at Kansas.
Who's going to be the movers? We had some movers on that first restart.
Chris Buescher, William Byron will lead them back to green after this first caution of the day.
Really good start for the
Yeah, Bell actually stayed with Larson that time. Larson didn't get the jump like he did on the initial start.
See if he can keep his track position on him on the exit of 2.
Oh yeah, he is.
Important. I think he's going to drive right by him, Kevin.
Look at that Blaney car right in the
Oh,
a couple spots, and that's
side drafting. 4 wide back there.
Typical move here at Kansas. Everybody will go to block the bottom and the top, and now middle lane opens right up. You see it again. That middle.
And Blaney and Bubba are on the move. Blaney, Bubba, and Bowman. I think all 3 of them are on the move right now.
And jostling for position. Cars trying to side draft and take the air off each other.
Yeah, and you see Christopher Bell fade to that high line. Buescher down to the bottom as Kyle Larson runs the middle.
Well, we've had speed, Zach. It's not like we haven't had speed. We just need to close one out.
Directly behind somebody is definitely not.
What we need is a race that isn't a caution fest. Because we tend to have a good long-run car. If we could have a race that isn't a caution fest, I think we'd be okay.
Big knot of cars here. With one car behind him in the middle backing up.
And this is why we like Kansas.
Well, this is that
hornet's nest.
Well, it's because you got tires coming. You have guys on old tires. Kevin, you talked about.
I didn't realize we had split strategy as far as. I didn't realize anybody pitted after 7 laps.
With fresh tires right behind you.
Yeah, and you see Kyle Busch leading that charge right there, and Ty Gibbs on the outside of him as they split the 33 car of Jesse Love.
Yep.
Ricky Stenhouse is next on that list for those guys with tires.
Denny's in trouble.
So easy to get your momentum broke here when you get behind.
Austin Cindric trying to get Chase Elliott here.
I believe is where Chase Elliott got up and into the wall. Squeeze play.
Turn 4, but he did. You're right.
Well, he was close.
No, yeah, he scraped it.
He just didn't catch it. He did there off turn 4.
Yeah, and a lot of times, you know, turn 4, the wall comes back at you, so it's a really easy corner to misjudge, especially when you get just a sniff of air off the front of that car when you're behind somebody.
Now, apparently people took tires, but I don't know who's on tires. I stepped away for a second, so I didn't see who pitted.
Slipped all the way back on that restart about 28th. He's back to 31st, actually making some.
Good to see a red line.
But Mike, he's just yelling how tight he is. Not happy with this race car.
Oh, you don't want a tight car here.
Yeah, and sometimes on a restart, that can give you a really bad misread. When the cars are 3 wide and you have all the traffic and that dirty air, you can get yourself into a position where it just feels absolutely horrible.
Well, note the inside line on the track is a single white line, and that's for reference for the drivers. But as they come off turn 4 and through the front straightaway, that is not an out-of-bounds line. You can go anywhere you want as long as it's paved. And we've seen
Joey versus Chase.
Way low at the start-finish line, way off the normal racing.
Obviously, slap of the wall didn't hurt Chase because he's going after Joey for this position.
I would advise against that. With all the tire trouble that we had yesterday, dipping down onto that apron and the way that it spikes the tires, I would be.
Well, this is what everybody wants to see because they didn't necessarily run all that great at Texas last week. So, interested in how they do today. They had a top 10 starting spot. We'll see how they do today, but they didn't run very good last week. Ooh, Reddick! Hang on to it, Hocevar. Nice save, Carson.
You talked about Barry, started dead last in the trunk to the field, and look,
Yeah.
here we go.
Watch this 21 car.
Yeah, you got a couple cars all right there.
I said it at Texas that I think well, actually, I said it on Discord with my group of guys that I think the best car in mile and a half this year might be this 21 team. Obviously, the results don't show for it at Texas because they spun while leading, but I honestly think this car is going to be the best mile and a half car this year.
Got the finishes and things that they feel like they should out of the speed of that car. But
Just about.
the race at Texas when he spun out and
You got 5 in a row right behind Larson. All Bill, Busher, Byron, Blaney, and Bubba.
Drivers who stopped and took 4 tires on the first caution. He is the best of them right now. He restarted 27th and is up to 11th.
we saw Ryan Preece qualify bad last week and qualify bad again this week, but that car has been very similar to the Chris Buescher car. From RFK, they've both had plenty of speed to race in the front of the pack. And Ryan
Somebody stated it last week, I think in here, how it seems that Buescher and Preece have been the better RFK cars than Brad this year, and it's almost as if they're funneling the resources into those two cars, whereas Brad has struggled. So
Actually, at both ends of the racetrack than Larson and Bell.
I think you have to be careful using brake at a track like this, Kevin. It only builds temperature in those front tires, which will make it tighter yet. Sometimes you have to use the brakes because the thing's already tight. Sometimes you use the brakes to keep it underneath of you if it's loose as well.
It is one.
Barry had been working his way up too, Thomas, and then a couple of obviously people pitted for tires apparently, which I don't know what the split is. Apparently they're saying Preece is the first one on 4, so
Just help set those front tires.
first one of those that stopped. So
Have to be careful. Too much obviously slows you up using the brakes, but that temperature in the tires builds air pressure. They don't like that air pressure.
3 Chevys, 2 Toyotas, and
so far all Kyle Larson.
top 10. Kyle Larson leading Christopher Bell and Chris Buescher for their stay in Kansas.
This is my brother Vikram, and I just sent him money direct to his bank account to invest in India, which gave him more time to get ready for a first date. And he wore this sleeveless sweater. Come on, Vikram, a sleeveless sweater?
The Memphis Showboats. Battle the San Antonio Brahmas. Fox UFL Friday kicks off at 8 Eastern. You've earned this, so hold it up high. You put on the biggest event of the year every single weekend, surviving the strongest storms, meeting chaos with composure. Roll up your sleeves to roll out the rain. Because the end of the road for you is the beginning of the rest of their lives. And this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Olsen and the Braves battle Rivers and the Red Sox.
yeah, I know somebody named Olsen. The last name Olsen, I should say.
Saturday on Fox.
Hey, what's up, roomie? I got us some Jersey Mike subs.
Danny DeVito? Are you my freshman roommate?
And that doesn't matter. This is a Jersey Mike's commercial where the subs matter most. I mean, look how big that is. We eat that for lunch and for dinner. Hey, we eat that.
That's a stretch.
You want a Jersey Mike's?
Introduce us to your new roommate.
It's Danny DeVito.
That's mine. Don't touch it. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Iced tea? Come on, Liquid Death. This is like my grandma's energy drink.
Yeah, but Sam Mayer? I don't think Sam's ready for the Cup Series yet. TBH. Not yet. Well, to be honest, I think when Brad does walk away, got RFK back down to 2 cars. They just need 2 cars. It's rough when you run a team with more than three cars or more. You're always going to have one car that's going to be off.
Starting off big. The Code 600.
Green flag.
Michigan? Hell yeah!
road course?
Yeah. Finally, Pocono! Stream all 5 Cup Series races.
27 laps complete in the Advent Health 400 at Kansas Speedway. Kyle Larson leading Christopher Bell.
Well, RCR has also been behind the 8 ball too.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear.
I mean, Chevrolet basically funds all their stuff into Hendrick anyway, so everybody after that is just battling for scraps.
Since the restart, Kyle Busch plus 21 spots. He's up to 15th. Ty Gibbs up 18. Ryan Preece, Zane Smith, and Alex Bowman among the big movers. Josh?
Yeah, and for the 60 of Ryan Preece, I talked to him earlier today. He said, I wasn't worried about qualifying 30th because I knew from practice we had a very strong car, a car that can handle well.
One yellow so far, rough. The 16 of AJ blew up.
I've been really excited coming to these races.
Dinger blew up.
I know we have something to compete with, and we're seeing that early as he's one of the biggest movers so far today, Regan.
Josh, Christopher Bell running in second place right now behind Kyle Larson. Current update on the cars, it's a little bit too tight in turns 3 and 4. He told Adam Stevens it is very similar to how it was yesterday.
He's on fresher tires as well, too. I know he's got the takeoff speed because we saw that in the first run, but he's on fresh tires too, so. You see, that's what I find most interesting, Olivia, is how wild some of the rumors are that are out there.
Regan, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I've been watching these lap times.
I don't believe anything until I get it from a source that I can actually trust, you know.
He's running the leader down Larson. This car is coming on strong on a long run, Kevin. We have documented this time and time again with the 5 car in particular. On these long runs, he has a tendency to burn the right rear off of it.
Yeah, we like to joke it's Kyle Larson against his right rear tire, and how does he manage that throughout the day? And Christopher Bell and those Joe Gibbs racing cars are typically pretty good on the long runs. That's
I wouldn't even trust them.
At this particular racetrack. So as we see this run go on,
unless it's like Popgross or the official source, that's the official
it looks like Bell is starting
one that the rumors about coming out and say it. I really don't.
The first 8 drivers did not come to pit road on that first caution of the day. Larry, when might we expect them?
Well, Mike, go back to the Larry Mack strategy. Splitting the stage in half is 40 laps a run. We did run 4 caution laps, but based on talking to a lot of people yesterday in the garage area, I'm thinking about the next 5 to 6, 7 laps. They'll be coming a little earlier than that lap 40 mark, trying to get advantage of those 4 fresh tires.
Well, we see the advantage. You look over the biggest movers. Who were they? As those guys that pitted.
Yeah, Blaney's quick. He's not as quick as the Larson Bell, are just slightly quicker, but and obviously Bowman and Preece on the fresh tires are quick too. But
he got tight or something right there off of turn 4, but definitely checked him up a little bit. But he's been making his way towards the front there with Kyle Busch right in tow.
Well, I've been trying to pay attention to those cars that stayed out. Ross Chastain, he is looking very tight off of 4. These guys are
Bubba and Cindric.
4 fresh Goodyears.
Yeah, we heard Larry talk about Tyler Reddick complaining about the seams. You see Austin Cindric kind of splitting that top seam right there on board with Reddick. He's on the bottom of the racetrack, so you want to be in between those 2 seams. I always found that in turns 3 and 4, you could enter below the seam and then cross that whole seam, but I never liked to actually split the seam for very long. This looks more like where we expect Tyler Reddick right here, up against the fence.
But he's found that fence once off of 4 pretty early in the race.
And pit stops are the order of the day for some of those drivers who did not come in.
Here they come.
At the first caution flag.
Like Chastain, Eric Jones, and McDowell.
Green flag stops.
Scheduled pit stops under green.
Well, just like Larry was saying, he expected some of these guys to start coming a little bit earlier than what we had originally.
Now, what we should see, because of those ones that pitted at lap 7, I believe Bowman will be the leader once these guys pit, because he's the first one that I believe stopped in that first round of stops. So he should be the leader here once these guys that didn't stop under that yellow.
This looks like a 2-car stop for Josh Berry. Nope, they do come around. They're going to do all 4.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the the thing on these green flag pit stops. You're going to want to take 4 tires because you're expecting it to finish out the second half of this run.
Which one? My radio?
Ryan Preece is away. He's done. John Hunter Nemechek coming in. Chris Buescher is in. Austin Cindric.
I think Buescher, Logano,
Yeah,
those
jump.
guys that were closer to the front, those guys.
Wish I could hear my damn radio.
Yeah,
I can't hear it because I got it lower set, so
I think Kyle Larson, you know, he had a big
I can't hear it.
and a little bit of a wait and see game and not lose any positions on the racetrack. That'll give him.
No, you're not gonna make the stage, Bowman. You're not gonna make the stage for it.
Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Carson Hocevar. To pit road, there's Tyler Reddick.
There, you could probably afford to let a couple laps.
You're gonna have to stop at least once in the stage for gas, and 7 laps in, it ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it.
And I know he's already made his stop. They elected to split it right in half. It looked a little bleak in the beginning, but the net gain was good at the end of the second round.
Now you got your third place car, William Byron, on pit road. I bet you see this 5 car open to the inside.
No, you're not. It's not gonna. Yeah.
Gregson's made his stop.
Unless somebody has an issue, I doubt we're gonna see a yellow here.
Blaney still out on the racetrack along with Corey Heim. Let's go to pit road.
And the 24, William Byron, really happy yesterday in practice. They hardly touched it. Rudy Fugel, his crew chief, told me so far in this race, just a little bit free in 3 and 4.
Bell's actually catching Larson a little bit. Blaney's in.
To be good right now.
Not so good for Bubba Wallace. Equipment interference will cause him to have to do a trip down
That
the road.
penalty, but
Speed as a penalty. As Ryan Blaney comes in.
Costly air into these green flag stops.
Larson's in now.
Oh, there's a look at it.
There come your leaders, Mike. Larson and Bell. No advantage to going further than 40 laps.
No. There is an advantage to that second place. Christopher Bell being that close to Larson.
Yeah. Bell gained a lot on Larson. For sure.
Bit of a game of cat and mouse there. The 20 cars.
That'll give the lead to Bowman again, who stopped on lap 7.
This time as well. As for the 20 car, about 2 laps ago, finally said it was starting to free up a little bit for Christopher Bell. And the 5 of Kyle Larson actually needs help with turn off of turn 4. One of the few cars I heard that was tight.
It's like I believe Larson will be the highest running of those that just stopped. See where they come out at.
Getting off this pit road, Clint, we know that you can gain.
We'll be on the lead lap.
Speed on the acceleration piece of the exit of pit road right here.
That's why you couldn't wait too long. Byron just passed Bell. That was a third place car right on the heels of the leader, Larson.
Well,
what was the leader?
Well, you see that gap from Kyle Larson to Christopher Bell also was a little bit wider than it was when he pitted. So definitely put William Byron in between him and the 20.
Jesse Love making his 3rd start in the Cup Series. Drove through too many pit boxes.
Bowman's in. I'm surprised they're pitting as soon as they did. I'm surprised they didn't go any longer than that. Looks like Zane's in.
Who was also in at lap 8, coming back in.
Yeah, and I think these guys, you know, some of those guys that were in the back wasted a set of tires to try to get themselves track position. As now we hear Ricky Stenhouse over the wall too soon. So
Stenhouse penalty.
Keep piling up. We talked about how many speeding penalties there were here in Kansas, but it's definitely going to be one of those days where we see a lot of trouble on the road.
Bubba's going to give Larson fits here, trying to hold on to this lap. Does not want to go another lap down.
Well, Larson's not the leader right now.
He's going to try to do everything he can do.
He will be once the stop cycle, but he is not the race leader.
He's going to get that car wide. That's going to slow Kyle Larson down.
Kyle Busch comes to pit road here at lap 43.
Byron's trying to reel in Larson here too.
And Denny Hamlin cycles through to the lead. The top 6 cars have not been on pit road since lap 8.
This is what joint pain looks like.
Nope. Rider.
Just one Aleve. 12 hours of uninterrupted joint pain relief. Aleve. Strength to last 12 hours.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. It doesn't just have great bones. It was the backbone of your community. So you breathe in new life, grinding away to make space for tomorrow, for your people. This isn't just a restoration. It's a revival. Because because you're always willing to double down on your neighborhood. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the markable fighter.
The Memphis Showboats. Battle the San Antonio Brahmas. Fox UFL Friday kicks off at 8 Eastern.
Hey, what's up, roomie?
Danny DeVito? Are you my freshman roommate?
And that doesn't matter. This is a Jersey Mike's commercial where the subs matter most.
You took both bunks.
I got a lot of stuff. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Hey, Doc, quick question.
Okay.
If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll. No question.
You know how tough payroll can be, right?
No, we switched to Gusto, and paying my team couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposit, and automatically files my taxes.
Ooh, taxi. Sounds like you know the drill.
Good one. Can I run payroll too? Sure. After this.
Choose payroll without the pain. That's working with Gusto.
Baseball Night in America, Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
Welcome back to Papa John's. I find other things in life, like ordering more to save more off the Papa Pairings menu. It's all $6.99. Got a brownie.
Why are you whispering? We're making new Papa Pairings for $6.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
48 laps complete in the Advent Health 400 at Kansas Speedway. We're racing to the end of stage 1 at lap 80. And a couple of drivers have rolled the dice. Kyle Larson has cycled back to the lead, but in second spot are just now William Byron, going by Ty Dillon. And Ty Dillon and Riley Herbst are on the economy run, Larry. They last pitted at lap 8. Can they make it? So they
We went back racing with 70 to go. I'm looking at their pace.
That's difference of pace right there.
That pace, they should be able to make it. If they can't make it, I have no idea what they're doing right now, unless they're just trying to bank on a caution coming.
Well, Bott didn't make it off of turn 2 right there, but even if they do make it, we're going to lose a lot of spots here. I don't know that it's going to be a net gain anyway.
Well,
way off the pace.
It's that hope is a bad strategy, and I think that's the way it's probably going to work out this time.
Gotten me through many years in life. Go for it.
Well, one of them got run over as other drivers were trying to make their way to the front. So they are two.
No, we've seen it happen before. We've seen it happen here.
Now Ty Dillon is, but he's in
when Denny beat him.
With 30 laps.
Denny put him in a position where he had to lift, and Larson wasn't lifting.
For him to hold on to a points-paying position.
I remember that race. Denny put Larson in the same situation that Larson has put other drivers into. But he, well, suffered the consequences.
So let's talk points. As we'll give stage points and a playoff point to the stage winner. And as we race to the playoffs after race number 26, these drivers have wins, and it's win and you're in. We average 13 regular season winners.
Yeah.
Now, most points above the bubble by non-winners. These fellas are in a pretty safe
You need to get back on the lead lap is the big thing first.
But it's not over. Look at that cut line below Ricky Stenhouse. Kyle Busch only 12 away. But with 20 points, minus 20 on back, only one driver has ever come out of that group and made the playoffs.
Well, you see a big hit like Clint just highlighted right there. A.J. Allmendinger took a big hit. Michael McDowell last week took a big hit at the end of those races. So
and then
points matter.
Flip side of that, Ricky Stenhouse moved into the playoff picture with a great finish last week in Texas. He is struggling today. This is going to be a battle right down to the end, the bubble picture of the playoffs. So important with a lot of good teams involved.
Every point matters. Now, stage points by drivers who have moved into victory lane. Bubba Wallace.
Well, look at that.
Ryan Blaney. They have capitalized. So have Reddick and Bowman. Been important for.
I'm actually surprised the name that tops that list.
Yeah, but Bubba Wallace, I mean, those guys have qualified.
I thought Blaney actually topped that list, but
he's now
attaboy Bubba.
So it's been a tough start to this race for the 23 car.
Despite the early start here.
So, Josh?
One update on 22 of Joey Logano. During that first run, that car was just way too loose for him and reported a vibration towards the end of the run. When they came into pit, he got 4 new tires. They told him the tires look good, but the balance is still not great with that still loose. Joey fighting a very loose car right now, Regan.
How about the run for the 6 car? Brad Keselowski so far today started 36th all the way up to 15th right now. And the good news for crew chief Jeremy Bowens is Brad is very pleased inside of the car with how it's driving, what it's doing on the racetrack. And keep in mind, this is a team that had trouble yesterday with a tire going down, but they had a lot of confidence when that went down. Brad himself did, and the team
About 25 to go here in stage 1.
Towards the front and not have to rely on strategy. So far, that's working.
Well, he is at the top of the list of drivers who need a great day and past champions who need to vault into the top 25 in points.
I think he's entered the must-win stage, Kevin.
I agree. I think that the 6 car at Brad, a lot of talent behind the wheel, a lot of leadership, but I think that with the way that this has all gone and as far behind as they are from that 16th position, I mean, they're going to have some pretty miraculous stage points, and if they don't win.
So of the drivers who have made 2 pit stops, only one is up in the top 10, and that's Alex Bowman in 7th place, 11 seconds off the lead. 2 Chevys up front, and they're Hendrick cars, Larson and Byron. Then Bell's Toyota in 3rd, and the first Ford is Blaney in 5th.
Well, the pit stop, I think, helped, too, because I noticed he leapfrogged Blaney on the stops, too. So...
Just 1 Aleve. 12 hours of uninterrupted joint pain relief. Aleve. Strength to last 12 hours.
We are green.
Hey, Doc, quick question.
Okay.
If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll. No question.
You know how tough payroll can be, right?
No, we switched to Gusto, and paying my team couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposit, and automatically files my taxes.
Taxi. Sounds like you know the drill.
Good one.
Can I run payroll too?
Sure. Let's do this.
Choose payroll without the pain. That's working with Gusto.
Hey, what's up, roomie?
Danny DeVito? Are you my freshman roommate?
And that doesn't matter. This is a Jersey Mike's commercial where the subs matter most.
You took both bunks.
I got a lot of stuff. Where the subs matter most. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
With Pro Plan Sport, incredible happens here. It starts here. Pro Plan Sport. Advanced nutrition for strength and stamina.
Matt Olson and the Braves battle Rafael Devers and the Red Sox. Or Carlos Correa and the Twins take on the Brewers. It's Baseball Night in America, Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
Kyle Larson leading by 3 seconds with 18 to go in stage 1. In 2 weeks, he'll be in the Indianapolis 500 on Fox. So here's a little trivia. Helio Castroneves is looking to become the first 5-time winner of the 500. Besides Helio, 3 other legends have won the Indy 500 4 times. Can you name them? No.
I know Rick Mears is one of them.
Well, he's from your hometown, of course.
Yeah, it's Rick Mears, A.J. Foyt, and Al Unser Sr. are the three that have won 4 straight, along with Helio. Nobody's won more, or nobody's won more than 4.
Al Unser and A.J. Foyt, who was the first to win 4.
Rick's 4th win in '91, he passed Michael on the outside. Just drove right around him on the outside, I think, going into turn 1 in '91.
Byron is edging into Kyle Larson's lead. Since we came back from break, he's cut it by half a second. Christopher Bell in 3rd. Elliott 4th. Blaney, the first Ford, in 5th. And the 2 drivers that were trying to stretch it without an extra stop, Riley Herbst has now gone a lap down, while Ty Dillon remains on the lead lap, but back in 24th. There's Ty Reddick, 3rd of the Toyotas now that Denny Hamlin has gone by him. Reddick in 16th right now.
Uh-oh.
I think he might have a right rear flat.
Tire down.
Well, that's what we talked about.
Right rear. Can he make it?
Round it goes. With right
You
side.
gotta save it at pit entry. Should stay green.
No debris, no caution.
Well, that's what we.
Well, the debris, if it's anywhere, it's right there at pit entry, so it's not like it's in the racing groove.
Grip that car is going to make from being lower to the ground and just mechanical grip in general. So now that they're on a green flag run, that's going to be much tougher on.
That hurts Byron big time.
All the caution laps.
He'll lose at least. He's gonna lose 1 lap here.
I think it was definitely down.
Might lose 2.
The fact that he got in the wall.
1 for sure.
Well, he did a nice job of getting that car under control and to pit road.
He's lucky it happened where it did too. Lucky it happened going into turn 3 instead of like down the front straightaway where you have to come all the way around the whole racetrack. Byron, of course, had that very hard hit here his rookie year at 18.
Yeah, so what happens when you let that pressure down? That's why we're talking about you got to be really careful with the car and how fast you go at the beginning, because when the car goes faster, it travels more, it hits those stops more. That puts more load in those tires, and I think they probably just got a little too aggressive right there, Clint.
We have found the line.
Well, we found it a lot yesterday.
More left sides than right yesterday.
We did. Both pretty effective.
Saw both though.
Yeah, both you want the air as low as possible.
It's only 1 yellow today still. The AJ engine failure.
Tyler Reddick has dropped back a spot. And ouch.
Oh.
There goes the camera on the 45.
Yes.
Or really the lens on the 45.
Loose.
Ooh, and Tyler had a moment. Spoiler cam.
Kyle Busch moving up. He's in 14th.
Yeah, that 8 car has been pretty steady all day today.
Larry Mack?
Yeah, let's go back to that right rear tire on William Byron, the 24 car. Mike, you mentioned it. He had run 27 to 28 laps. I just want to help our viewer understand, if low air pressure is the culprit, how did it go that long? What happens? It gets damaged in the first lap or two when it's really low on that air pressure, but it won't rear its head into a run as we just saw.
And here's Byron's radio as that was happening.
Somebody, did we hit the wall first, or did we have a flat first? No, we had a flat tire, right rear tire. Copy, just confirming for the pit box, all good.
Well, that's important.
7 to go in the stage.
Put more air back in the tire. They got to make an adjustment.
Lars leads Bell by about 5.3 seconds. That's another roughly 8/10 back to Chase. Blaney's about 8.2 back, and then Cindric, damn, almost 10 seconds back.
Only 1 lap down. That's very important.
The plan is to finally.
And he knew that he had
The plan is to do both races the same day, with a little bit of maybe a break between if there is a break to break between the two of them. So.
actually spun out on pit road when he came in, but he saved himself from spinning out on the racetrack.
We have fixed this 11 car. Denny Hamlin is moving to the front and doing it in a hurry, picking him up and putting him down.
And as he passes Josh Berry, that'll put him into position for stage points.
Hamlin is the quickest car in the top 10.
This is, you know, for this 11 car from where
At least in that lap time wise.
I mean, he was in the back, Clint, having a tough
31.86 to
all of a sudden it was like somebody
I think 32.4. Oh, actually no, Chase just matched that lap.
Was the fastest car on the racetrack at 31.86.
Chase just matched that lap on that lap.
Practice, maybe not to the extent that we've seen it during this run, but he didn't take off. He was actually like a
Had to go.
than his teammate Ty Gibbs on takeoff speed, but that long run speed was lights out.
Tried to close the gap a little bit to Larson too. I notice. At least the second through fourth, they're closing a little bit on the leader. It's not going to be obviously enough to pass Larson for the stage win, but we definitely cut the time down to Larson.
When William Byron's tire went down, it happened so fast he came right down pit road. His team had to scramble. Ryan Patton is the tire carrier. You didn't even have a chance to put your gloves on, Ryan. You carried those hot tires, blisters all over your hands. How are you?
Yeah, it's not an ideal situation, obviously, but there's a lot of communication going on. In a crisis scenario like that, especially coming off turn 4, the car's on you quick. So thankfully, we're in stall 18, which just past the start-finish line, so we have a little bit of time to react. But a heads-up call by Rudy to put the qualifying set on from yesterday. So we're exchanging the sticker tires to the scuffs. You got to make sure you got the right front correctly, the right rear correctly, so we put the tires on the car. Everything's good. So it's a crisis situation, but hopefully we catch a lucky dog and we get back in this thing.
Show us those hands. Got some blisters on there. Been sticking them inside the ice, guys.
Wow.
You want to know what tough looks like? That's tough. Grabbing one of them hot tires without gloves on.
Now 7 Fords, 3 Chevrolets, 2 Toyotas.
That's tough right there.
Bell and Hamlin, Joey Logano in position to get the final stage point.
Well, Kyle Larson.
Yep, Bell currently had a Reddick. I thought Reddick was going to run better at least at the start of this race.
He would fall off. So far today, it's been nothing but perfect from that 5.
He lost a little speed opposed to the ones behind it, but not enough to be worried.
Uses up all the track and all the apron. And drops back in line.
One thing we haven't talked about is Kyle Larson has lapped all the way to 20th place on this race.
19 cars on the lead lap.
Something that we typically see. That just tells you how dominant that 5 car has been.
Well, he's mired in traffic right here, but because he's so dominant,
Right.
he was, what, almost 4 seconds.
Last lap, stage 1.
Well, big trouble right in front of him because all 3 of those drivers want to stay on the, or not lose another
Well,
lap.
Larson's got a 3.5 second lead, so I don't think he has to worry about losing the stage win.
Yeah, Dillon, Hocevar, Chastain, right at the tail end of the lead lap. Nobody wants to have to take the free pass.
Looks like Ty's going to be the free pass car.
He might make it on fuel, but it cost him. He's all the way back to 34th place, a lap down.
Yeah, and he's actually running 35-second laps, and the leaders
Here
are
comes Larson.
33-second bracket. So it's been
Larson wins stage 1.
Does not force the issue against those 3 drivers who all happen to be in Chevrolets trying to stay on the tail end of the lead lap. And Larson gets his 7th stage win of the season. That's more than twice as many as any other driver.
Keep an eye on Blaney and Cindric in those Penske cars.
Oh, I will, Clint.
Kyle Larson to know when
Wow.
starts on pole and wins stage 1.
Surprised the prediction went that it did, but
Might not be related, but you're still family. You don't just give an extra hand. You give your whole heart and a whole lot of muscle. Because it feels good to raise up the community that raised you. You are a fighter.
seems kind of obvious, but I should make the stage 2 prediction at this point.
Thanks for getting these supples. Of course, no problem, big bro. Let's eat.
Hey, nice.
Danny DeVito? What did you do with our uncle?
Well, that doesn't matter. is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. What matters most are these sub balls.
Wait, has Danny DeVito been my brother my whole life?
I guess so. Don't tell Mom.
Your favorite sub, hot or cold in a bowl. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
This is what joint pain looks like when you keep moving with Aleve. Just one Aleve. 12 hours of uninterrupted joint pain relief. Aleve. Strength to last 12 hours.
With ProPlan Sport, incredible happens here. But it starts here.
Payroll, no question.
You know how tough payroll can be, right?
No, we switched to Gusto, and paying my team couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposit, and automatically files my taxes.
Ooh, taxi. Sounds like you know the drill.
Good one.
Can I run payroll too?
Sure.
Is it my mouse?
Choose payroll without the pain. That's working with Gusto.
Olsen and the Braves battle Devers and the
How's that? Is that it? Because that's the only clicking I could think is my mouse that's clicking. Other than that, I don't have anything that clicks. It's only my mouse. My chair squeaks, but that's not. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Let me put my stream volume on and see if I can hear it.
Right in your hand, so you know your big deal is the best deal. Car Gurus, the #1 most visited car shopping site.
Welcome to Truck Country.
I got nothing.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Saturday, it's baseball night in America as Matt Olson and the Braves take on Alex Bregman and the Red Sox, or you'll see the Twins battle the Brewers. Check local listings for the game in your area Saturday, 7.
The only thing I think is maybe it's the mouse, but
Stage 1 complete, waiting for pit road to open. Jamie?
Well, Mike, 1 month ago, Kyle Larson got a new pit crew except for the gas man, and so far, this team has executed. Let's meet Team 5.
no, can't be. I got this tight.
Front tire changer. Fun fact about me is I like crazy socks.
Mike Moss, rear tire changer. I enjoy watching anime.
Al Stallings, tire carrier. Greensboro College football All-American.
Eric Ludwig, Jack
My fan's going.
Conference at Elon University, playing football nose guard.
Could it maybe the fan you're hearing?
I've been fortunate enough to be at Hendrick for this will be my 18th year.
Studs, aren't they? Cliff Daniels, the crew chief. Tyler Munn, the starter, up on the roof. And, you know, each pit crew, each pit member has his own special way of doing things. Watch the Jackman here.
I love all these different styles, Mike, and it's all about what makes you the fastest around that car. And you're going to see some guys that grab it naturally like that Jackman did. Now you got the little different, trying to get a head start there. Behind the back, we've covered this one.
I think this all started with Denny Hamlin's crew. We put that on TV and everybody said, you know,
I know.
Is there a better way of doing what we do?
What's funny is people hear different things I notice in my thing, so.
Well, it's very reminiscent of Junior Johnson back in the day. I think that's a Junior Johnson line. They all learned that from him.
When Junior did it, Junior did it to swing it and hit the official. Because the official kept getting in his way. It's one of my favorite NASCAR stories, too, is that Junior swung the jack around because the official was getting in the way on the stop, and he would swing it around. Right.
We'll start with the 9 of Chase Elliott, finished second in stage #1. His report was that car was getting a little too tight towards the end. No adjustments, just 4 tires and fuel. Jamie?
Ryan Blaney in the 12 as he makes his way on down from the top.
I don't know what it is, because there's nothing else close to my mic that would create that noise other than me clicking my mouse.
Every one of these drivers out here is the conditions are
So
out here, Regan.
Christopher Bell in the 20 car started the
that's the only thing I think that it could be that actually makes a clicking noise that's close.
Kyle Larson after the green flag stop was too loose, but he liked that for traffic.
Or, yeah, obviously keyboard if I'm typing.
Larson wins your
Yeah, Blaney gained a spot. Bowman gained a spot. Priest gained a spot. Bell, Cindric, and Hamlin all lose one.
Well, ever since NASCAR on Fox came on the air in 2001, one of our cameramen up on the roof was Tony Marshall, T-Bone we call him. And he was the best at finding action on the track or in the infield or wherever it happened to be. Well, a few years ago, he transitioned off the roof and into the RoboCam trailer for the cameras that are mounted on the wall. There's Tony at work, where we couldn't put a cameraman physically at the camera. He runs those from in the trailer, yeah. Well, he's retiring. This is his last race. He's now Tony Robo, and he had a wish. He says he's been at the track all these years, but he'd never been on the track. So cameraman Brad Hutton put this deal together for Bubba Wallace to give Tony Robo a thrill ride. And thanks to Darwin Patterson, Toyota, and Jusan Hamilton. Tony, we're going to miss you.
This is what joint pain looks like when you keep moving with Aleve. Just one Aleve, 12 hours of uninterrupted joint pain relief. Aleve, strength to last 12 hours.
You've earned this, so hold it up high.
Oh, I got added in that one.
Every single weekend.
Get added for unknown reasons.
With composure. Roll up your sleeves. Roll out the red carpet. Because the end of the night for you is the beginning of the rest of their lives. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the marketable fighter.
Yep. They just have the All-Star race remaining next weekend, and then
This is not my real family. What did you do with her uncle? Oh, don't worry about that. Can I crash here tonight? Your favorite sub, hot or cold?
then Prime takes over for their couple of races, which I have to figure out how to pull up Prime. I have Prime, so I have Amazon Prime, so that's not the problem. It's just going to be trying to find the broadcast. It's going to be fun.
Gusto, and paying my team couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposit, and automatically files.
And then,
Sounds like you know the drill.
Good one. Can I run payroll too? Sure. After this.
Choose payroll without the pain. That's working with Gusto.
With Pro Plan Sport, incredible happens here. But it starts here. Pro Plan Sport, advanced nutrition for strength and stamina.
Here in Kansas, pole sitter Kyle Larson, winner of Stage 1. Only once this year has the winner of Stage 1 gone on to win the race, and that was Kyle Larson. That was back at Bristol. Jamin Murray, Chris Myers in race here atop the RCR hauler with Richard Childress, the 6-time champion car owner. Your drivers in Austin. Dylan has 3 straight.
you're not missing much, Tristan. What are you going to miss? Pacing?
Also watching you closely up here.
Yeah, Richard, we see most of the owners up in the suite or maybe.
Yep, I gotta restart it. Restart the app, no problem. Oh. Shit. No problem. No problem. Yeah, I seen that.
I don't know about him, but he's headed that way. Hopefully, Austin, he helped the 5 off to stay on the lead lap. So hopefully we'll get it fixed.
Yeah, I've got the emulator PRK. Recently, I got back into playing Thunder 03, my career mode on there. So.
let's check with Josh.
All right, guys, well, we talked about Ty Dillon pitting last on lap 8 and then ran to the end of that stage where you could see the effect on that right rear tire over there. This is not what you want to see, but that is an impact of how important tires are.
Damn.
And when you try and run long, that can be what happens, guys.
Well, it certainly explains why his lap times were 3 seconds off what the leaders were running. One penalty on this round of pit stops. Carson Hogan.
Well, that's a tire that ran the whole stage, too. That's not... Or the tire that ran basically from lap 7 to the end of the stage, so... Let's see what Chase can do with Kyle, because Chris was able to actually race Kyle. We'll see,
In fact, he just radioed and said, I have 0 clutch pedal. So, of course, that will impact his ability to save fuel. And
Yep, I seen that one, Bumble. That post.
Chris Buescher had a 12.7 second stop and fell from 10th to 17th, where he'll be on the restart.
Well,
yeah, sounds like it.
To lose those positions, but as we get going here on this restart, we know that these guys.
2 Chevrolets going to lead the field back here in stage 2. The teammates, which is the channel point prediction. About even off the fire off.
Helping Elliott, Blaney on the bumper of the 5 car.
About even off the fire off. Let's see what happens here. Bowman thought about 3 for a second. Hole kind of closed up there.
Then you wind up on the bottom of the racetrack. You don't have any of the momentum, and then it's hard.
Bell's going to go high. Elliott trying to side by side with his teammate. Uh-oh.
That's the first time we've seen somebody get to the outside.
Restart under review. Did Chase jump the start? Oh, look at Blaine to the outside. 3 wide. Ryan didn't quite have the momentum to keep 3 wide off that corner. He tried. He had a good run down the straightaway. Is he going to try the 3 here? Nope, stays behind Chase. Bowman's going to jump down there. Bell coming back. Might be 3 off the corner. That'll get you shot. If you post that on Twitter, Shadow, that'd get you shot. that would straight up get you shot. Oh, I got to it. Larson slid up a little bit there. Still side by side. Here comes Bell. Bell thought about the middle. Yeah, he thought about trying to get it through the middle there. Oh, and here comes Bell back now. Ooh, Blaney sideways off that corner. God, I love this racetrack. Do not change this racetrack, please. Do not change this track at all. And, I'm sorry, Priest. Hello, Priest. Ooh, Blaney to the bottom. I think his car's a little loose on the fire off because...
I'm glad you said that. Pick and choose your battles wisely, Kevin.
We got two Ryans in the top 5 now. Blaney and Priest. Ooh, Priest started to make a run there. Blaney moved up to try to chop that run off.
Josh Berry running 7th.
Austin Cindric coming into play on the bottom. He's been making.
But here comes Josh Berry too.
But now he wants to try to get a side draft off.
Which I think is, again, one of the best on a mile and a half.
See how these cars are moving around with the dirty air. They lose the nose, as Larry showed us in the beginning of the show.
Cindric up here.
Be in the wake of that car in front of you.
Alex Bowman.
Ooh, Cindric. Side draft. Comes Berry going to help Cindric.
Get a big run because that 48 had to lift.
And here comes
Oh, Cindric!
Denny Hamlin coming up from 9th.
That thing snapped to the center of the corner. He's going to lose a bunch of spots.
And that's worst case scenario right there. Now he's going to get passed by 5 cars.
Yeah, the way they're running, Bumble.
Out of the throttle or a moment like that, especially when all these cars are so tightly packed together, costs you 5-6.
Oh, there they go.
Contact. Yeah, Bowman and Zane Smith.
Zane Smith and Bowman. Bowman off the wall.
In stage number 1's been running up here in the top 10, and he just got sandwiched.
Don't know how bad those 2 cars are. I mean, we already see Bowman lose it, or Byron already lose a tire today, so don't know how good that or how damaged that 48 got the fence. He's continuing on, but that wasn't a light hit. That wasn't like what Chase did earlier or Reddick did earlier.
Cinder trying to recover from 14th against Reddick and Bubba Wallace.
Well, now we got a breather after that restart.
These three cars right here, 3 wide, 11 up the racetrack. You see Zane. He knew that the
Yeah, he might be all right.
was going to come up far enough that he was going to get into the side of the 48 and tried to lift.
A little worried about that, the hit to the outside wall, but yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that it didn't shoot him up there and just get tight.
Well, squeeze just a little bit. Anytime
He might be okay. As long as the toe's not knocked out of it, you should be okay.
have to point in a different direction. They don't like
Battle for fourth.
Anybody care to guess who has the Xfinity pass this lap of the race? Kyle Larson.
Mike, do we really need... I think we need like one guess at this point. But again, I'm interested to see if Larson gets back in traffic, is he just as good, you know? But so far, nobody's been able to put it to him. His teammate was probably the most we've seen somebody side by side with him today, but nobody's yet been able to truly put the fight to him. How about Brad into the top 10?
Eric Jones in the mix.
Yeah, 2 cars right there, especially that 45. We expected a lot out of Tyler Reddick. And
Ooh, Jones had lift.
Tight off of turn 2, but that 45 car has not run like we thought it should run today, Clint.
Watch this, guys. About as close as it gets to a wreck.
Ooh, was that SVG? Yeah, I think that was SVG and Gilliland. Yeah.
From the Ford Performance Cam on Todd Gilliland.
We got a little loose, had to lift, got the wall.
That'll get your attention, won't it?
That will get your attention.
Well, especially after the poor run they had at Texas, PRK. Hey, I don't like them, but at least they're having a good run compared to last week.
This is the joint pain when you keep moving with the lead.
Warm here, sitting.
Just one elite.
Pants.
12 hours of
My
uninterrupted
pants.
joint pain relief. Elite. Strength to last 12 hours.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You put on the biggest event of the year every single weekend, surviving the strongest storms, meeting chaos with composure. You roll up your sleeves to roll out the red carpet, because the end of the night for you
Open the damn window at this point.
You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Remarkable fighter.
More time or more money for your small business? Choose Gusto and get both. Businesses everywhere are turning to Gusto for payroll, benefits, and save time and your team in minutes. Not
Is that what the Pope calls his betting? Holy sheets.
save money. You don't have to send.
And there's my dad joke for today.
And plans start at just $55 a month. Join 400,000 businesses on Gusto at gusto.com. With Pro Plan Sport, incredible happens here.
Holy sheets.
But it starts here. Pro Plan Sport, advanced nutrition for strength and stamina.
You see, Port, what Meep doesn't know is that I actually hid the password from him. I did a Doctor Strange of the mind and... Actually, I know what the password is. Beep. You know you like me, right? The password is the NASCAR 15 Charlotte Victory Lane. That's a bad one. That's a bad one. That's a bad one. That's a bad one. I know, that's a bad one. Their hands. That's true.
That was the pre-race meeting for Ryan Blaney's crew. Jonathan Hassler,
Yeah.
10 feet with it. Spotter up on the roof. Blaney.
I said I like where we're running. I don't think we're the fastest car, but
And Elliott.
One position behind him.
is that really supposed to happen though? Because I wasn't even sure if that was confirmed. 3-car rule.
Started dead last. Well, we expect that 21 car to be fast. He had some trouble yesterday in qualifying, bent totally, got into the wall, bent that toe.
Because they wouldn't be the only one. JGR would have to cut down too.
So
JGR's got 4.
21 would be good. I don't know that I expected him to get to the front this fast, but that car has been.
So you basically have to have 2 teams cut down to 3 then.
Trouble right there on the restart getting mixed up, but that car is running some good lap times right now.
And it's been in the wall. On the outside of Zane Smith, he hit that wall pretty hard, so pretty impressive that it's rolling to the front on this long run.
And those two have been fighting pretty hard. They're for the 5th position. Now you go back to a 9th and 10th.
I'm still watching this 21 car.
And Brad Keselowski, 9th and 10th, also started this race from the rear. Regan?
Well, Mike, just to update the number 38 is Zane Smith. Keep in mind, this is a car yesterday that had a flat right rear tire. Also had contact with the rear. They qualified pretty good. So the 18 opted to go ahead and fix the car, though, because they wanted to be assured that it would be absolutely perfect. That's how confident they were in the speed that they had in practice.
Garage is still the only, is to date the only organization that put 5 cars in the chase. Did that in 2005.
He's coming. His lap times are only 0.2 of a second off Kyle Larson's currently. One of the quicker cars in our top 10. Drawing a bead on Ryan Preece here. This is for 8th place. Preece and Smith.
Yeah, you see him.
Battle for second is tightened back up though. 0.6 of a second between Bell and Blaney.
Bell's starting to struggle with the long run speed of his race car. You see Chase Elliott right there behind him, Blaney in tow. They've both run him down. He's holding him up.
Yeah, and right now,
Newer teams can only have 3. Okay.
0.4 of a second off of Kyle Larson. So definitely something not to Christopher's liking right now with the car. Now, Chase Elliott, he's kind of stuck behind him right now. He's going to have to work that middle lane and try to get that right front fender into that left rear to use that side draft to finish this pass. But definitely something not right with that 20. Jamie?
Yeah, you guys were actually talking about William Byron a little bit ago. He's a lap down back in 29th. Has not made up much ground. Just listening to him, extremely tight on that short run. He just told his team, I'm trying to run right up here at the wall like he's doing now to try to compensate for that. So this car is certainly not to his liking.
And Jamie, he is the 7th car 1 lap down, so nowhere near in position to get a free pass.
Well, Larry, we saw those guys yesterday in practice when they had trouble with their tires. All of them was working on their diffusers overnight. You think that's the problem with Byron after that flat?
Well, you see Chase Elliott right there.
See, that's why I hate rumors, because a lot of the rumors as soon as you start putting logic to them, they fall apart.
Sorry about that, Clint. I'm looking at data down here. I'm trying to figure out why that damn 5 car is so good
So's everybody else out here.
He is so fast through the middle of the corner. It's unbelievable. But there's no question. We saw it yesterday with.
I can tell you how it is, Larry. They're doing something that nobody else is doing that NASCAR apparently hasn't found a rule for yet.
Only car faster than Kyle Larson at the last lap was Josh Berry. Berry sits in fifth. Larson and Bell, your leaders.
This is what joint pain looks like when you keep moving with Aleve. Just one Aleve, 12 hours of uninterrupted joint pain relief. Aleve, strength to last 12 hours.
But well, I don't believe rumors. That's why I don't believe rumors until I actually see, because half of them are so far out there sometimes, and it's like all the rumors I saw about Kyle Busch, like, oh, Kyle's going to go back to JGR, oh, Kyle's going to do this, oh, Kyle's going to go back to Hendrick. It's like, there's no sound logic in those rumors. So every once in a while I may see a rumor that's like, okay, there's some logic to that, and it'd be an interesting move, but half of them are like, do you guys even read before you post those rumors? It's like, half of them don't make damn sense.
You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Medella, the mark of a fighter.
It's brutal. So slow. Good thing we brought Jersey Mike's. Is that Danny DeVito? Don't worry about
You do realize this is SVG's first full season in Cup, by the way, PRK.
The subs matter most. Freshly sliced right in front of you. That's what matters here. Almost
Now you see,
It's a rock.
when I see rumors like that, though, those ones make me laugh, because it's like, okay, at least if you're gonna take the silly season rumor, you're gonna go like far out there, you know, make it funny. And actually, I could build on yours, Mark. It's a team swap. Hendrick picks up Cindric, and they give Penske Chase Elliott. Switch the 2 and the 9. It's a single-digit car swap. It's like when you try to play a game and pause, but you're online. Oh, wait a minute, I can't pause.
Here's our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. The best seat in the house since 1925. Happy 100th anniversary to the Goodyear blimp. William Byron, a lap down, came in and made a pit stop, and so did Hendrick's Alex Bowman.
Oh.
Thought I saw him on pit. No. 7th place.
No, sorry, it wasn't Bowman that pitted. Nice job, Mike.
Get back with that. So, Larry, looks like we're just seeing a couple of the cars a lap or more down coming in.
Yeah, Mike, splitting it in half is 126, which is 6 laps from now. I see Cindric on pit road. I think you'll start to see some of them come now within the next 2 to 3 laps. Let's see if Chris Gale and Denny Hamlin runs it long, but remember what Jamie Little told us, that's a big deal on pit stops, is that clutch.
Yes. Here's Michael McDowell, our Gunk onboard camera on McDowell, who is one of 9 cars currently 1 lap down. Jamie?
Yeah, Larry just mentioned it, the 11 and their clutch issues. So what are they going to do when they come back down pit road? Listen.
Come in the stall, put it neutral. We're going to help push it. You drop it first, and we're going to roll. If that doesn't work and you have trouble, then you'll shut the engine off, put it.
Well, I've heard mixed things about Dodge, because I heard that they're supposed to be coming back to the Truck Series, which I think that one's been confirmed. And then I also heard rumors that possibly Legacy could be the one that brings Dodge back. But I don't know if, again, I don't know if Chrysler's going to be down to return to the sport yet fully, because I forget who's in control of Dodge or Chrysler right now. What company is actually in control of Chrysler?
Sometimes you can pump that up if it's got a little air pocket if it's all the way gone like that.
I could, because I thought Fiat had. I wasn't sure if Fiat had sold them off yet. I know they were. I don't know if they still are. I should be following that, but
37 of them coming in. You knew it was going to happen. You can make up a lot of ground short pitting here, but much like Larry covered with that 11 car staying out and kind of being on the benefactor on the back side of that.
That's quite a risk to take, though.
Austin Dillon in. Here's Christopher Bell. Regan.
I mean, I can see Kaulig doing it because right now, where they're at, they're not really going much of anywhere right now, so I can see them making a big move like that, but... The problem is you're going to lose all the manufacturer support from Chevrolet. Not that they were getting much anyway, but...
Josh?
For Chase Elliott, as he comes into his pit box, he's still reporting that that car is too tight. No adjustments for him once again, just 4 tires and fuel, Jamie.
Chase in and out. Ryan in. Yeah, a little slow on the right rear.
Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, Chase Briscoe getting service, and here's the leader, Kyle Larson.
No surprise there. I think they stayed out 1 lap too many that last time. Let him get a little bit too close for comfort.
Where does he go then, mate?
114 of the 126 laps today. Regan.
And Mike, it's been
If he leaves, where's he go?
Pretty pleased with what's going on inside the car. Good feedback and very detailed feedback, whether it's yellow flag or green flag pit stops as to what the car is doing. The biggest thing he said this last run was I struggled a little bit more when I got to traffic than I wanted to. Josh?
Well, for Joey Logano, it's been a bit of a struggle today. That car is just too tight for him.
So the 5 team is not going to give up the lead here.
Right now, we'll see if they can get that 22 where it needs to be for this next run.
Josh Berry, Alex Bowman, and Denny Hamlin in and out. Ryan Preece comes in along with Nemechek and Gilliland.
Seems like
Preece is in.
Yeah, it seems like they had as much trouble on the pit stop as they did taking off there for Denny Hamlin.
Carson Hocevar, who won yesterday's truck race, assumes the lead. He and teammate Justin Haley have not yet been to pit road.
It doesn't matter. They're still going to struggle coming back. Dodge hasn't been in the sport since 2012, or at least in the Cup Series since 2012. So it's going to take them a while to get back.
Pylon there, you see Carson Hocevar and Justin Haley. Now Haley's on pit road, but
especially since they're not going to get anything from Chevrolet anymore.
Hocevar leading the race right now.
They're basically going to have to do everything in-house.
What happened to Denny Hamlin's stop?
Had trouble on the right front. Lost his lug nut. Lost his backup too, Kevin. You saw him reach for his belt for the backup, and it fell off.
17.4 seconds.
Hocevar is the only one that is yet to stop.
Because of that right front issue.
Yeah, and if you're going to have one that is that long, it's almost better to have it under a green flag pit stop.
Meanwhile, top 5 pretty much are the same.
Actually, probably lose less time than what you'd lose under yellow.
It's Justin Haley there too.
10 being Ty Dillon, who is a couple laps down.
Yeah, and the reason that they're talking about Ty Dillon is their pit stall location.
But it looks like the top 5, really top 6, who are going to remain the top 6 once the stop cycle.
So
Larson leading his teammate.
Behind Hocevar, who has not pitted. And as you see on our
Bell, Blaney, and Berry and Bowman fall behind.
as this cycles through with 35 laps to go in the stage.
The goddamn Chevrolets are breaking up the possible B-name driver streak too. Well, actually, no. I should say the 2 Hendrick Chevys and the 2 Hendrick Chevys are the ones breaking up the B-name driver streak. Because then you have Bell, Blaney, Berry, Bowman, and Brad, and Buescher in 10th. So, and Kyle's 12th. So.
Suarez, who is stop there, and Riley Herbst coming into his stop. So Kyle Larson back to the lead here in Kansas with 34 to go in stage 2.
I was a little disappointed actually right now, to be honest.
Big bro. Let's eat.
Danny DeVito?
Yeah, well, you forget how long it took Gibbs to actually be good with Toyota. Yeah, Kyle had that breakout year initially in 08, but Stewart struggled, Hamlin struggled. Both won only a single race, although they both made the chase.
Favorite sub, hot or cold in a bowl. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
I'd argue it wasn't even really until 08, maybe mid-09, 2010 that they really hit their stride with JGR. And even then, where all 4 teams were competitive.
Advanced nutrition for strength and stamina.
But I do agree that it would be a good move to switch manufacturers for Kaulig because they are basically, I think, near the bottom end of the totem pole at Chevrolet. So the manufacturer change is definitely, I think, worth it if you're Kaulig because you're not going anywhere right now with Chevrolet. I said, I'm just so hard pressed to see Dodge come back, though. You know, it seemed like when they left after 2012 that it was like that was it. So like I'll actually straight up believe it when I and what the hell are you doing in the Discord chat port? I see 3, 4, 5. Why are you counting? Why are you counting in the fucking NASCAR chat? Posting nonsense. We're posting nonsense. Why am I not surprised? Why? That's why. That's not anything that is a statistic that nobody wants to know. Well, because it's my Discord, I can also do this.
131 laps to go here. We're at 56 complete out of 85 in stage number 2. Everybody has made that pit stop. Well, Cole Custer's come in, and now Ty Gibbs makes his stop. That'll complete the cycle. Kyle Larson back out to a 3.6 second lead over Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell 6.7 back. First Toyota, then Ryan Blaney's Ford, 8 seconds back of the leader. Here's the top 10 as they run, and in the right column you see where they were running before the stop. Denny Hamlin came in 5th and came out 10th. And we'll show you again what happened here.
I'm sorry, I had to do that. I had to make that. I had to do that funny one because of the message he put. So.
The extra lug nut, grabs the original lug nut, puts it back on.
I guess I can.
He did. You can see the old one still got one sitting there, but this is the other problem. Just like we talked about leading in, Jamie told us the clutch is not going to work. The plan was to get it rolling. Listen.
Yeah, and basically what he did right there, Clint, they got it rolling just a little bit, and he revved the engine up and just shoved it as hard as he could into first gear. So that's not going to be very good.
I've had channels deleted, Sky. This isn't my initial Twitch channel. I try to do what I can to limit it from happening, but doesn't mean they still can if they find it. That also helps that more and more people are doing it now, and I like that more and more people are doing it now, because that also helps. Because the channels with the bigger views are going to get the takedowns. Big brain play. Big brain play. They're going to go after the ones that have more viewers first. Well, I mean, I could just do this. I mean,
Flat better tires here. To 3.
the power of being the owner of the Discord means that I can. Just wish we had a little more speed. Not that I complain with the top 5 running P4, but just wish we had a little more speed today.
All clear, all clear.
Also, Zane Smith top 10 run. P8 at the moment. Wow, pulling out the old Larry the Cable Guy bit? That bit's what, 20 years old now? I know, because I watched the first Blue Collar Comedy Tour special not too long ago, so... I rewatched it not too long ago, so...
Bubba's 1 down. You've got a 10-lap advantage, Sam. Still there. Clear.
You know, it seems like there's good racing everywhere but the fucking lead right now. It's like if we had anybody other than the 5-car leading right now, we'd probably have a good dice for the lead, but fucking every time it seems like Larson leads, it's like there's never a good dice for the lead. Again, I don't know what they're doing there, but they're definitely doing something.
Ty Gibbs made a pit stop, had a commit line violation, and Cole Custer was just on pit road.
Well, those 20 laps, I think maybe 15, 20 laps after that one restart.
Has 3 NASCAR Cup teams. We got team 11 owned by this guy, and 3-time Daytona winner Denny Hamlin. But Denny Hamlin races for another team.
More horsepower isn't the answer.
Winning head coach Joe Gibbs, and
I'm tired of seeing that because that's not the answer.
By 7-time Cup champ Jimmy Johnson. 3 epic teams, 4 legendary owners, all going after 1 Cup. Now you're up to speed. You in?
It is stressful out there, and a lot of phone companies are making...
Do you want me to be honest? Because I've stated this to my buddies in Discord. Doesn't matter what NASCAR does, people are going to bitch about it.
Basket of puppies and team up. When you switch, not only can you save 20% versus the other big guys...
Doesn't matter what NASCAR does, people are going to bitch about it.
Guaranteed.
The difference between the yesteryears and this era that everybody says was so good, you don't have the platform to see the criticism. But as somebody who lived, I've been watching the sports since 2001. Yeah, the criticism's there. The criticism probably was just as bad back then as it is now. It's just you don't see it like you did. You didn't see it back then because there wasn't the platform for that criticism to come out. Now, literally, the minute the race ends, hell, during the race, you could literally put out there on social media your opinion of the race right then and there.
This Memorial Day weekend,
it's not like it used to be.
The 66th running of the Coca-Cola 600.
Fox UFL Friday lights up prime time. Let's go! As the Memphis Showboats.
It amazes me how many people are so much, oh, we hate this, we don't like this. Then why are you watching? Why are you here? You know? It's one of those where it's like, why are you even still here if you think it's that bad? Now admit, you know, NASCAR is NASCAR. They've made some really questionable decisions over the years, but It's like if it's that bad, why are you still here?
Josh Berry, the top 5. Here's Regan.
But Kyle Larson, of course, out front leading right now. Lost just a little bit of time off of that lead. But
Exactly, Joker.
detailed information Cliff Daniels just gave him.
Got a little bit of a vibration. Feels okay on our end. Let me know if you feel it get worse. Both right side tires were worn pretty good. No cores on that last run. You can just tell that they had been worked pretty hard. So just need to part with it. Make sure you got enough for the end.
Well, that's good advice.
Blaney's closing on Bell. Elliott's closing on Larson by a little bit.
He drives that car, and he drives right through that tire.
Well, you can say that about any race, too, Sky. The at-track experience is definitely going to be better than watching it on television.
Dillon's earlier down to the cord. We know how far he ran, but he is definitely hard on that right rear.
Well, he's eased it a little bit. Of the top 10 drivers, his lap time last time by was only 5th or 6th quickest of the top 10.
No, they didn't leave me.
And I think Cliff does a great job.
See, that's where I disagree with that part of it. They didn't leave.
Help manage and pull the reins back.
Some might have left. Not all of them did.
In the wheelhouse of taking care of things, and you don't want to take him and beat him down and take that fire out of him. But Kyle Larson definitely will stand on the gas, and Cliff Daniels does a good job at managing that.
I'm just sick and tired of seeing the same excuses
Yeah, well, we saw that 20 car
that I see week in, week out. Oh, you need to change this, or you need to change that. Well, oh, you mean you want us to go back to the thing you bitched about initially when we had it?
That car goes loose, it just becomes really difficult.
Like the biggest flip turn I saw, and it's still the one that shocks me, is how many people are showing nostalgia for the COT. A car that when it came out was reamed. Hell, Kyle Busch threw it under the bus when he won the initial COT race.
With Bell in 5th in the Toyota, as we've discussed, and 6th, Alex Bowman, who started 19th.
So,
otherwise, Bowman's been in the top 10 all day.
Yeah.
He had a strong car yesterday. His long runs.
Will Chase get to him before the stage in now? He is cutting time out of it. Lane's cutting time to them as well, but not as much as Chase is.
A little bit of trouble with that right rear tire going down, but these other 3 cars, Larson, Elliott, and Bowman, they've been in the mix all afternoon so far.
Now here's Brad Keselowski in 7th, looking for his first top 10 of the season. 2 of his 4 fastest stops of the season have come today, so everybody has risen to the occasion for Keselowski. And behind him in 8th, Denny Hamlin. Hamlin restarted 7th.
Well, that would be an easy change, Joker. I think an easy change there would be just to make green flag laps count. Just green flag laps count.
Well, he's not going to win today with the trouble that he has with that clutch. It's just going to be almost impossible to win. But Zane Smith, these guys had trouble yesterday with the right rear.
Olivia, why are you in my mind? Why are you in my mind? Why are you in my mind? How are you inside my head? Because that's literally what's going to happen. That's literally what's going to happen. I can call it.
They've really been solid all year.
I will 100% call that too.
Kyle scraped the wall in qualifying.
Because that's what's going to happen. It's the same. I almost apply that same logic, because you can apply that same logic with looking at the most hated drivers throughout the years and how much that's changed. You know, for so many years, Gordon was hated. That flipped. For so many years, Kyle Busch was hated. That flipped.
Absolutely.
So.
Have a top 5 to his name yet. Obviously, the penalty at Talladega was unexpected. Had a great finish there.
But anyway,
pre-race conversation today, Clint.
We got 5 to go in the stage. Get ready for this last stage.
Behind him, Chris Buescher, who fired off from the outside pole and finished second here last.
I know I was a Johnson hater. I'd admit that.
Ended up in outside the top 20 after pit stops, but he's fighting his way back, Regan.
Mike, that's exactly right. They're doing everything they can. A little bit of slow pit stop earlier in the race, got them back just a little ways. But the larger issue for the 17 cars, they have been very loose all day long. They've been struggling to get that car tightened up. But the latest report from Chris was that it was finally getting a little bit better. Did not want it tightened up anymore. So let's see if he can make some gains forward. Josh?
Well, you guys talked about the surprise of the 45 and Tyler Reddick not running in the top 10, not running in the top 5. I can tell you that team is surprised as well. They felt really good about that car coming into this race, about the short run, about the long run. But during this race, Reddick has complained that it's just too tight, doesn't have the turn that he needs. He ended up scraping the wall a bit in stage number 1. No damage for him, but he has been searching.
That's why what we need, Zach, is long runs. The thing that hurts Blaney is these caution-fest races.
Was 14 and now falls to Justin Haley.
When we get a long green flag run, it's usually when they come to life. Granted, right now the car on the move is Elliott. Chase has closed it to under a second.
Mired in traffic, and Elliott's right behind him.
He's got 3 laps to try to do something.
Every time he gets
He's under a second.
And I'd say Larson, to those 4 cars racing side by side, is really nowhere to go. He's being patient, doing exactly what his crew chief Cliff Daniels told him to do.
And now you're going to have another battle because Noah Gragson just ahead of him is the last car on the lead.
Barry's on the move too.
Then Ross
At 21.
And then Chase Briscoe. And
I mentioned it earlier to watch that 21 early in this race.
He's moving to the inside.
He's got 2 to go at the stage.
Yeah, and I think he got uncomfortable with the distance that he had behind him. So
time to go.
Yeah, Kyle Busch is 1. I don't know who the other one is.
That's a lot of laps,
That's
Mike.
a lot. Only 3 active drivers with that many career laps led.
Oh, Denny Hamlin. Thank you. I do Busch. I was trying to think of who the other one was.
Kevin, I asked you on the break.
And to think most of that has basically come, I think, when he's taking over this 5 car. Ooh, Chase is going to make that close.
Yeah, that right rear tire is not happy. It doesn't look like on Kyle Larson.
We might have a different stage winner here.
But you saw it slide around, and Chase Elliott has closed in.
This will be the last lap of the stage. His teammate is there.
If he goes right around him.
Well, no, here's Gragson trying to get back. He wants to fight his way back on the lead lap. The car just ahead of the race leader is Chastain. And Larson drops.
That might have been it. The 4 car may have just helped Larson here. Unless Elliott can make the turn down low. Not going to be enough. Oh, nope. Larson wins stage 2.
But it was close.
Well, there's a chink in the armor right there, and we talked about that.
Like I said, long runs are going to hurt this 5 car.
We heard Cliff talk about it, and we saw that car dancing around.
That's how Blaney beat Larson at Atlanta a couple of years ago, was on the long run. Larson's chink in the armor is the long run. I think that
Does our mascot look like Danny DeVito to you?
Yeah, it does. That doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's.
I think this race, I want this race to go green. If it stays green, if we can go all the way through.
Where the subs matter most. The Jersey Mike's thing.
I don't have to change to resort all this, but yep, throw him in there. I'll throw him in there, even though he's not running as good as the others. And then we'll just do the field.
More time or more money for your small business? Choose Gusto and get businesses.
Why? So we can just sit and watch pacing? You see, I don't mind the commercials when they're under the caution here, pacing, because what are we missing?
Save money.
It sucks when we got commercials when they're green, but if we got commercials when they're pacing under yellow, it's like, what are we missing?
Plans start at just $55 a month. Join 400,000 businesses at Gusto at Gusto.com.
The Memphis Showboats. Battle the San Antonio Brahmas. Fox
Well, they're going to cut back to the pit stops. You know? The leaders. Because they always do. That was an outlier, because that's the first I've ever seen it. Dega was the first time I've ever seen it. Yeah, Hendrick.
They did a great job on
21 at Dover.
Position to have a chance to win the race, and the 8 car.
But 1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody wants Kyle Busch to win right now, and I was trying to give the guy some love. And mid-sentence, we're backed into the fence off of turn 4, but that just really seems to be the way that it's going for this 8 car right now.
Join Kevin and the gang every Tuesday and Thursday. Is this the most opinionated podcast in NASCAR? Maybe. Tune in and see. Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour presented by Echo Park.
No, it wasn't. I've seen worse. Fall 2013 is the first one I think of. You're talking worst Dega races, fall 2013. That's the first one I pick out. Is the worst in recent history with Dega. Because I legit don't remember anything that happened in that race outside of what happened on the last lap. When Dillon went into the air and ripped the fence down. Or, well, not ripped the fence down, but...
Lamar Neal, tire carrier on the 8 Chevrolet. I'm a former collegiate linebacker, and when I'm not changing...
That's debatable. Because the worst Daytona 500 was clearly 2000 or 2013. Those were the worst, too.
Former Sports Center top 10. To my beautiful wife and kids at home, Daddy loves you. Justin White, fueler for the number 8 Chevrolet. This is my 15th season in NASCAR, and I'm a former basketball player.
Ronald, that's the crew chief, Derek Nealand.
Yeah.
Up on the spotter stand.
Didn't even won 2 fall Dega races, BRK.
Change that diaper though. Fast. It's all about speed.
Well, I mean, when you're competitive, you want to do everything that you.
08 Brickyard 400.
That's right. Yeah, very true.
All right, Kyle Larson's crew, still the best of the top 5 on track right now, according to our season rankings.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Ryan Blaney's team made a change on their car. They've been really good today on their pit stop, so held their own, gained some spots so far.
Yeah, I just wish we had a little more speed. I don't think we got quite the speed of the 5 or the 9, but
let's see how this plays out. Josh.
If you're running top 5, I think you got a shot at least if you rode a top 5, but I know we got a good long run car. Maybe not the best long run, but then 2 for Chase. Yeah, there we go. 9-9. Not quite good enough to beat Elliott off, but Larson a little slow leaving, but able to hang on to it. No, actually, they're saying it flipped it. They're saying it did flip. I thought it was close. I thought Larson may have dipped him, but I'd like to see that. Yeah, he did get him.
And look, you go back to the timing line right there. It was so close.
Kyle Larson sweeps stage 1 and 2.
Yeah, like I say, Blaney's crew had the quickest, I think, of the 3 pit stop wise, but couldn't quite dip either one of them.
Yes, even when other lenders won't. Apply online in minutes and get funds deposited the next business day or sooner. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Thanks for getting these sub bowls. Of course, no problem, big bro. Let's eat.
Danny DeVito? What did you do with our uncle?
Well, that doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. What matters most are these sub bowls.
Wait, has Danny DeVito been my brother my whole life?
I guess so. Don't tell Mom. Your favorite sub, hot or cold in a bowl. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
The Memphis Showboats. What a play! Battle the San Antonio Brahmas. Oh, a hit! Fox UFL Friday kicks off at 8 Eastern.
Baseball Night in America, Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
2025 NFL schedule will be released soon. We are ready for the new era here.
It is adrenaline, excitement, the stage electric.
One of many revenge games. Quarterbacks, they define this rivalry. They've only gotten better. Unbelievable.
Goes on. The whole world wants
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
Welcome back.
We are green.
Live with Jamie McMurray, Chris Myers just above victory lane. One stage to go here in Kansas at the Advent Health 400. And so far the stage stealer, Kyle Larson, dominating. He's led all but 15 laps through winning both stages, surpassing 10,000 career laps led. He's also won twice this year and twice in Kansas. However, worth pointing out, he led the most laps last week and didn't win in Texas. Let's see if he can hang on. A quick recap of the race so far. We had a surge of early cautions. A.J. Allmendinger, second straight DNF. Blew an engine here, the 16 car. And then it was a couple of cars running second. William Byron with a tire blowing out, trying to enter pit road, the Daytona 500 winner. Now, he was second at the time, and even Denny Hamlin, who's won more races here than any driver in this race, dropped lug nut, had a clutch issue, and then Larson, as Hamlin tried to challenge him and is hoping to work his way back up, takes stage one and takes stage two.
Yeah, unfortunately for Denny Hamlin, I think he might have the fastest car, arguably. I mean, I know Larson's won, but Denny's not been able to get up front and show that. He clearly has an issue. I'm going to take him out of the race. Barry, though, has been a great story. He won at Las Vegas on a 1.5 miles earlier this year.
Uh-oh.
Penalty, going to have to go to the back, Chris. I don't know if he has enough time
Barry with
to
a penalty.
get up front, but the 21 has a really fast car today.
I don't think they stated it, but apparently there's a penalty to Barry. I mean, so there goes that.
His first Cup race here at Kansas Speedway. They've been running here since 2001. We'll be back with post-race a little later. Back to Mike Joy, Kevin Harvick.
Thanks, Chris. Getting ready for stage 3, and that race off pit road might have turned out differently had they not changed the timing line to coincide with the speed ending line, the yellow line at the end of pit road.
Because the black line initially, the first black line is the original timing line. Yeah. That's what I was looking at. I thought that was the timing line. I didn't see the other timing line.
But now NASCAR standardizing at most tracks right there. That is the speed line, and now it is also the timing line for the race off pit road.
Yeah, and I think it makes it a little more fair as you look at those timing lines and spreading those things out. So
we just saw it.
Yeah, definitely changed the lineup right here.
Well, Kyle Larson, the best restarter among those who will restart in the
Well, we'll see. Now, first time Larson's been outside the bottom on a has not been on the bottom on a restart.
Each get a lap back
So
and move up into the 1 lap down or 2 lap down in the case of Dillon area. Denny Hamlin was 8th before pit stops.
also the first time today that Larson hasn't been the leader on a restart too. Chase being the control car here.
Radio.
Yeah, he's really good. I don't know how to be much better.
Beginning of the run and middle of the run, we have a lot of speed, and it seems like your balance is close.
Kevin, how many times have you told me that?
Yep.
That will right rear.
94 laps to go. For sure, one more pit stop. Probably what they'll do is they'll run this in half if we stay green. Run this halfway between it and then pit. See what happens. Now we know how good a restart these two had a good battle they had on the last restart we had. Bell had a good launch looking in that third lane.
With Chase Elliott on the exit of the corner, actually creep ahead of him down the back straightaway.
Ooh, but Elliott's going to suck with him, and here comes Brad K. Elliott trying to clear, and he does.
Blaney on the bottom. Here they come off turn 4. 1, 2, and 3 wide. 4 wide back in
And hello, Brad K into P3 solidly.
Him in the exit of 4, stacked him up behind them.
These restarts are crazy.
Trying to get redemption for RFK at this track.
See the 45 there of Reddick shoot down below that 77, but one thing Kyle Larson hasn't had to do all day is pass a car.
Well, let's see what the 5 car has now.
In the first 2 stages, Larson had led 154, but now the roles are reversed among the 2 Hendrick Chevrolet drivers.
But we still have one more pit stop too.
Because you haven't run in traffic, you don't know what the process needs to be, where you need
So we still this race, you still got a ways to go. You know, it ain't over yet. Hell, we saw what happened here last year.
Look right behind them. I'm so impressed with Keselowski and company on this.
Man, what a day for this 16.
Before the race, we were talking about it coming on.
Needed a day like today.
Must-win situation. He might win it right here today at Kansas Speedway.
Well, let's not forget, this stage is 17 laps longer than stage 2, which was 5 laps longer than stage 1. So each of these runs.
Yep, the longest runs we've done today.
Take even better care of those tires than you did in the first 2 stages.
And we've seen this 5 and 20 car of Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson. They both fall off pretty bad at the end of this run, or at the end of these long runs. So
Here comes Brad for second.
It'll be interesting as you see Brad Keselowski.
Bell gonna jump into the mix of this.
It's amazing when 2 cars get side by side how much it benefits the car behind them. Bell came from nowhere, 5, 6, 7 car lengths.
Again, we saw this the last restart, the big battle they had.
And Bowman to them as they run 3 wide.
Want the stage to go green.
Brad has had all season long. He's going to give it everything.
And I think Brad knows that he's in a situation to where he has an opportunity to win a race, and Brad's got a lot of experience, and I think when you look at his points,
Jay's loving this because he's out front.
as you see those cars almost come together off of turn 2.
Well, he needs to get it sorted out. We're going to have to save some tire. I believe that Larson was trying to do that on his takeoff speed here. As you see Elliott driving.
Good. Brad will clear him.
Power move. How about that?
Brad to second.
Got the job done. I think you're showing a little bit of patience. You called it. You're pulling those reins back. Cliff Daniels on his driver in the 5 car. Trying to get this thing down to the end, but you can't say enough about Keselowski.
Wow.
This is a huge turnaround for this team.
Keselowski 11 straight races without a top 10. Kyle Busch 7 straight on 1.5 mile tracks. He is currently 15th.
The other thing that I will say, watching that 5 car run the bottom of the racetrack, I actually think that running the bottom of the racetrack is worse than anything else that you can do.
And Brad was the quickest car that last lap by. About 8 thousandths of a second quicker than Chase.
Daniel's strategy for this final run.
Well, what I'm seeing is he cannot get back to the throttle on the exit of the corner. When he tries to pick it back up, he has to play with it a lot longer than Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, and even Christopher Bell. He just cannot get back to the throttle and stay in it.
They're tightening up for 4th.
And speaking of Keselowski,
Behind Bell.
has really distanced Larson right now. Brad's run in a top 2 position in only one of the last 10 races before today. So a banner day for RFK.
Well, let's see. I want to see what the 6 car does on the long run. We know what Chase's car did on the long run. He ran down his teammate. We'll see.
And Advent Health is going to take us to an inside ride with Eric Jones.
Because if this race stays like it is, this is going to come down to the long run. It's going to come down to whose car is best on the tail end of this long run. Or really the tail end of the long run once we make those final pit stops. Now it is, Port.
Now that pass by Noah Gragson was not for position. Gragson is on the lead lap. Jones currently among those cars 1 lap down. He is chasing. He's chasing Corey Heim, and the next car behind him that he is racing is Austin Dillon.
Yeah, and you can really hear him pedaling that car. When you get to the center of the corner, these cars just want to slide all the way up off. So definitely have to manage it like he's doing right there.
$83 laps to go.
Teammates with Tyler Reddick.
Hocevar and Haley 12th and 13th. Let's go up to 5th place. Alex Bowman and his radio.
Either way, I like you being wound up, but we're better than you feel right now, right? So be positive or whatever here, but we got a good car. We've overcome this weekend, so like we are still in the win this month. I'm still planning on going to your house tonight, drinking whiskey. So I'm trying. He can just have his way today, Blake.
Well, Blake Harris, the crew chief.
Sounded like that was yeah, Kevin and Alex that were having a bit of a disagreement.
They were having a conversation about Alex and his comments and things that he was saying, but Kevin Hamlin feels like he knows him pretty well. Basically, telling him to be quiet.
We'll go up a few cars ahead of him to 2nd place, and Brad Keselowski. Regan.
Well, Mike, it's a lot happier story on Brad Keselowski's radio right now. Jeremy Bones, you got your driver up to the front, told me you could pass your way all the way up there. You have done it. What's the right call at the end of this race now to see it all the way through?
Well, if it stays green, we just got to time the last stop right and try to make the right adjustments to stay with the track. It's getting a little bit tighter, it seems like, so just got to make the right decision.
All right, looking good. Thanks for talking to us.
Brad knows how to win here. Won here in 2019.
But is he the only car that's passed Kyle Larson all day? He's not counting the restart.
Well, Chase passed him in the pits, right? And so yes, that's correct.
And I think seeing Brad run good is definitely something that everybody wants to see. We know that they're capable of it, so it's great to see him put together a day so far.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, I was referring to Brad because Brad was on screen. Chase has one. Yeah, Chase has 1 win here, and that was 18.
Christopher Bell.
It was his 3rd win. Because I think this race was after Dover at 18, so it was just his 3rd win.
But they made the most of it. You know, he lost a couple of spots because of that dropped center lock nut on the right front wheel. But that last
well, Hamlin might get them both here. Yeah, he does.
Yep.
That car is extremely fast. Really fast. And it never seems like those problems happen on a day when the car's just slow. And Denny Hamlin, I mean, he has been on point all day today. And
I think it's going to kill Hamlin his clutch problem on that final pit stop. You know? There's about 1.5 seconds with about 70 or 77 to go.
9.8 off the lead.
1 more stop. Probably roughly about, I'd say, anywhere from 40 to go, I think.
As you look at him back there in 11th position.
If you try to split it in half.
Definitely they need to figure out how to just get a little bit better, I think. But even if you're not where you want to be running
and keep yourself in the backside of that top 10, I still think that's a victory for those guys.
Yeah, building on a new team, there's no question. Just need the consistency to smoothen out.
Lead is slowly closing. It's not much, but it's closing.
Really, we expect it every weekend. That's just the level of driver and team.
Yeah, he was gaining a little bit penalty, but not enough for me to start noting it. Now I'm starting to note it because he got it down to about a second and 2/10. Once you get a lead down to about a second, you can start to actually pull up on the guy in front of you and set yourself up for a pass. But you got to get, I think, within at least a second before you can get the suck up there to try to get around him. So
Talking Bubba Wallace, he's back in 24th, 1 lap down. And you're watching from Corey Hunt.
and let it be known here, I mentioned Brad's win here in 2019.
In his first, let's say,
Brad's first win for Penske Racing in the Cup Series came right here. Spring of 2011.
Eric Jones in 26th. Riley Herbst and Ty Gibbs, 3
Driving that 2 car.
So thanks Toyota for providing us with more green flag coverage.
That was Brad's second career Cup win that day too. Yeah, he's quicker than Elliott by about 3/10.
74 laps to go.
And Hamlin, the quickest car in the top 10.
All inroads on Chase Elliott's lead.
Look at that. He sure is.
Yeah, that last lap was big time.
Absolutely. Made the chase that year in 2011. Won the Bristol. Oh, Brad's in the wall. Was that right front or left front? Right front.
Fourth caution of the day, a blown tire.
Damn.
Brad Keselowski.
And that's really been the story of the year. Every time things are going good, something like this happens.
I'm okay.
Damn it, Brad.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, lost. They look like right front.
You can see right there the right rear's down.
Oh, they said right rear. Right rear, and it got sideways. Damn.
Went on, who was going to be brave on that rear air pressure?
Damn.
They got it down lower. That speed.
They had the quickest car. Second quickest car in the top 10. Only Hamlin was quicker.
Such a fine line.
And he was running them down, too.
Well, look what it was doing for them. I mean, there's a reason you.
Well, this makes this interesting, too, because they can't make it from here.
We talked about this yesterday in practice.
They can't make it from here on fuel. So.
Right, is what'd you say, 22 pounds?
22 pounds in the left rear, 46 PSI in the right rear, but we know for a fact, talking to Goodyear all year long, teams probably go 4 to 5 pounds lower than that because there's more performance
Damn it,
there.
that sucks.
Those pressures, but you step into the durability range.
That sucks.
You're living in it, and you know this air pressure. When you talk about it being lower here, it affects.
Because I think he's trying to see if they. I think he was trying to see if they could. It would roll. You drive it back to the pits, but.
If you could get that pressure lower, it made the car feel so much better because it gets the back of the car down, and it's just it's a place that.
That's the thing. If he gets out, the car goes to the garage, but he can sit in the car. It'll put the car, bring it back to pit road. But I think.
Yeah, we had 4 left rear.
I don't know if that one's going to continue. At least not the way it was.
Right here, so it is definitely. You got to live on that edge, and the hard part is when you're running 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and then you say, well, all the tires look good, and then you get up there 2nd, 3rd, the pace picks up, and then the travel picks up, and the way that you're on those limiters changes, and that spike, that load that goes into the tire starts to go up, and then you see things like this happen.
Now, once that wrecker hooks you up, they have to tow the car to the garage. You can't come back to pit road. Brad will not get a top 5 or top 10 today, but
yeah, Matt. That sucks. Honestly, that sucks. They absolutely had a run going too. Not saying they would have won the race, but
31 laps into this stage with 71 to go. What do we do?
Definitely had a run going.
It made me follically challenged right here because they're right there on the threshold. Remember, the fuel window is somewhere around 64 to 66 laps. Right now, we're coming to 70 to go. Probably go back racing about 67 to go. We're just right there on the fuel window. Everybody will be coming though.
16 cars on the lead lap. Plus, I believe John Hunter Nemechek will get the free pass on this caution flag, which is the 4th of the day.
I heard.
So, who's going to be first off pit road?
Well, you want to be the first one off to get control of that restart, so we're going to find out.
Josh.
Well, Chase Elliott's been on both sides of the balance so
All
far
right.
today. They got the 3 and 4.
Everybody to pit road.
Some help in turns 1 and 2 right now, Jamie.
All right, let's watch this stop for Denny Hamlin. No clutch here. Pit crew will do the work. Then they're going to assist the driver. They just told Denny, remember, put your foot on the brake the entire stop. When we drop the jack on the left side, foot off the brake. There they assist him. Taking so much time.
Gen 6 sucked. It had its problems. Get over it. My comment to the ones always saying about the Gen 6 is like, that car sucked. Wow, Chase's crew. What a failure of a stop for Chase's crew. What happened there?
Hear how high he had that thing revved up and then tried to shove it into gear, and it's worked the last couple times.
And Hamlin in trouble.
I want to be looking at Chase Elliott had trouble, right rear trouble, big shakeup at the front.
And Christopher Bell.
And Christopher Bell wins the race off.
Bell wins the race off pit road.
Baseball Night in America, Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox. So hold it up high. You put on the biggest
Blaney P3.
every
We're still there. We're still hanging there.
surviving the strongest storms, meeting chaos with composure. You roll up your sleeves to roll out the red carpet, because the end of the night for you is the beginning of the rest of their lives. You are a fighter, and this is your reward.
Pro Plan Sport.
God damn.
Incredible happens here. But it starts here. Pro Plan Sport. Advanced nutrition for strength and stamina.
I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate you guys following. You know, I just do this because I like to do this. I like to hang out with people, but that's why I don't put ads on the stream unless I'm doing something other than this.
This is what joint pain looks like when you keep moving with Aleve. Just one Aleve. 12 hours of uninterrupted joint pain relief. Aleve. Strength to last 12 hours.
You don't need to post it in chat. If you want to count it, you can count it, but don't post it in the chat. I consider it spam. You can count it if you want to count it, but don't post it in chat.
Cautions tend to breed cautions. In fact, there have been 23 caution flags within 5 laps of a restart here at Kansas in the Gen 7 Cup car.
Well, it definitely takes as we start to get closer to the end of these races. Because
Well, you're definitely seeing a bit of a change in this race.
All right, so trouble for Chase Elliott. He had a 14.7-second pit stop. While changing the right rear, it appears that the jack dropped too soon before the wheel was firmly fitted, and the jackman had to come back. Watch the right rear and the jackman.
Yep, it wasn't. Though the lug came off. The nut came off, and the jackman, the tire changer had to put it back on.
14.7. Back to 12th place. Puts him back to 12th place.
And Hamlin's car is in the garage.
Pushed back to the garage.
Hamlin won't be a factor.
Awfully high trying to get it going.
Yeah, And I think that it was going to be a tough task to ask for this car to survive with the way that they were having to put it into gear.
Well, they were having issues with the clutch too being completely gone, so I think if the trans finally, the clutch I think just eventually just gave out. There's.
Well, a couple of wave arounds, so we'll reach.
Oh,
lead lap cars.
he's definitely sad Keselowski right now. All right, 67 to go. They cannot make it on fuel. We know that.
And we'll have 67 laps to go when they take the restart green. Christopher
Bell, the leader. Second different leader. Or, well, the second person lead under green. And here comes Logano 3 wide for the lead.
That was pretty wild right there. You saw that 20
Where Joey? What?
Trouble, turn 2. Cars in the wall. Here we go.
Where Dylan Suarez?
Ty Dillon, Cody Ware, Daniel Suarez.
And we've seen this happen here so many times, Clint. As we get late in these races, these guys just get so aggressive, and it happens a lot here in Kansas.
I think Larson got, or excuse me, Logano, Larson. Really, really close.
Well,
that
we'll go
restart.
Back to the last scoring loop that they crossed before the caution flag waved to determine that. The way they go 3 wide, 4 wide on this restart, it may be hard to figure out how this one started. But we'll have a look.
You see the 10 car get loose on the bottom of the racetrack, go up the hill, hit the 51, and 99 just an innocent bystander there.
Trying to take evasive action and nowhere to go.
And you can see when those cars got sideways, those leaders were door to door.
Kyle Larson is the race leader at this 5th caution flag. From Todd Gilliland's view. Now let's go back to the last scoring loop that they crossed before the caution flag, and there was the difference.
Game of inches.
Kyle Larson to Joey Logano for the lead. All right, let's catch our breath with 66 laps to go as we watch from Corey Hahn.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You put on the biggest event of the year every single weekend, surviving the strongest storms, meeting chaos with composure. You roll up your sleeves to roll out the red carpet, because the end of the night for you is the beginning of the rest of their lives. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
This is what joint pain looks like when you keep moving with Aleve. Just one Aleve. 12 hours of uninterrupted joint pain relief. Aleve.
I want to know where the hell Joey Logano came from. Joey Logano was fucking. Logano was fucking top 15. And all of a sudden I look and he's like, okay, he's in the top 10. Then he's racing for the lead. What? You already made that joke when I said where did the Fords come from a number of years ago. That clip is saved on my Twitch channel, no less. And actually, no, that was Jacob that said that, not you, but point still stands. Actually, no, that's not the second fastest thing. That is the fastest thing. I told you, I'm just going to keep deleting the ones when he puts them in the other. I told him he can count them, just don't count them in messages on the Discord. I know, because I'm monitoring it for it, so I know you didn't.
Fox in 2 weeks' time. All right, here's an easy one. Drinking milk in the winner's circle is a long-time Indy tradition that became official in 1956. Who is the only winner who did not drink the milk in Victory Lane?
I believe that was Villeneuve.
I think it was Emerson.
No, it was Emerson. Yeah, it was Phil. It was because he wanted to drink his own. Yeah, he wanted to drink his own brand orange juice. Yep. It was. I knew the story. I forgot that it was Emerson, but yeah, I knew there was the fact that he had his family's orange juice.
The Dairy Association of Indiana polls every single driver for what kind of milk they want to drink should they end up in Victory Lane.
Yep.
That way there's no orange juice and no questions.
Chocolate milk? Chocolate milk.
I guess that'd be a choice.
Okay.
All right, here's Kyle Larson's radio.
I know you're doing a good job saving fuel right now. Keep it up. We will be right at the lap of making it to the end of the race.
That's what I said. I know it's going to be close. Now it's going to be close. The previous restart, I didn't think they'd make it. Now it's going to be close.
Wait. Salinas is a town in California. Isn't that like north of
Salinas?
That's a code word, is what that is. Let me tell you, Mr. Where'd he come from? Won this race last week in Texas, Logano, and then Chase Briscoe. Haven't seen these guys all day long. Here they are running in the top 5.
Well, that's the
Remember what I said at the start of this race for people that were here for the stream? I said, watch out, there possibly could be a surprise here.
in position when everybody's having trouble.
Speaking of trouble,
Logano's up here, Briscoe's up here. Two guys that haven't been here the entire day.
Remember, he's had clutch trouble all day. Hard to get that car going.
Well, their strategy has been rev the engine up, we're going to push you, and then try to slam it into gear.
Did it finally break the engine of trans? Yeah, that's trans.
Finally said, we're done.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I heard Kevin
Okay.
say revving it up and put it in gear. I mean, that's, you know, you have
That's a message.
to what that input shaft's rolling, and when it puts in, when you go from a high RPM, eventually that's just a tall order. You're in big trouble when you don't have a clutch to push the clutch in, disengage it, and get the thing in gear.
Yeah, you could hear it. You could hear as soon as it went to let it go or drop it is when it snapped the gears.
So here's the choose from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. We're celebrating 100 years of an American icon, the Goodyear blimp.
Well, 61 to go on this restart. Larson, Logano,
Side against Logano for the front row.
Bell, Blaney,
Briscoe and Bowman.
Briscoe, Bowman.
Preece, Busher and Elliott the top 10. We will restart with 24 cars on the lead lap, including the free pass car, Bubba Wallace.
That's exactly what I just said, Port. You parroted me again. I'm gonna change your nickname in Discord to my parrot.
They're gonna try.
Because you basically parrot everything I say.
And if you can get launched with that
Port's by mini-me.
That's what gets that good run into turn 1. We saw Logano have to pull out and block last time, and
Well, that's going to be the other thing, too. And we're all assuming that this race is going to go green to the end, too.
Out here at Kansas, it's one of those very unique racetracks on the restart with how those lanes work.
All right. 61 to go. Teammates on the high lane. Logano and Blaney together.
Getting towards the end.
Wow, Larson.
Boy, Larson jumps right out by him.
The best restart he's had since the initial start of the race. 04.
Yeah, the other thing that happened right there, Kyle Larson waited a little bit in the restart zone, and the 20 got into the back of him. And like Clint,
Four there with Gregson, Chastain, Barry, and there they go. And Bush goes around. Kept it out of the inside wall. No yellow, and there's the yellow.
Not anymore. Kyle was 13th. That will be the 6th caution flag on lap 208.
Oh, now he's stuck.
Oh, now he's in the grass.
Cost him a lap.
Now the driver can stay in the car, ask for a push, or ask for the wrecker.
That's what he's wanting, is to give him a push, and that's what the wrecker's doing. The wrecker, the guys in the truck were getting out. The wrecker's like, I'm going right to the race car. Okay, NASCAR, attaboy, at least get the tow truck at least get to his bumper to push him, not waste time there. Now they got 4 here. I think Chastain gets the wall here.
Into one another. Watch this.
Because Barry and Chastain rubbed, and I saw that. It was just basically a accordion back down to Busch.
When another car hits that right front tire, it immediately just takes that car out from underneath you.
I saw it happening on the back that it was an accordion down. This is what I saw right here. Because Chastain got Barry. Barry came down into Gregson into Busch.
Keeping it locked down, and then
He did a heck of a job to keep that thing from hitting the inside wall, though.
Keep it away from that wall, and then it spins again. But most importantly, it didn't hit the wall.
Didn't hit the wall. He's going to lose a lap on pit road because he got stuck.
Because flat tires, he got sunk into tore up the grass and got stuck in the dirt. So.
They're just 4 wide there, Clint.
Well, one of the guys that I follow that does this is still up.
Watch the one car on the outside. See Chastain up on the top. He got to wiggling, whether he was bouncing off the wall or whatever. He got into the right side of the 21. Josh Berry down into Noah Gregson into Kyle Busch. I mean, almost halfway down.
Rowdy wasn't streaming. Rowdy wasn't streaming at all, Port, that I saw. So.
Moves to the left a little bit to give himself some room. That hits Gregson.
Breakfast, it looks like I don't know if he got taken down, but he was streaming earlier, and I think he got taken down.
The last one in the kink in the link in the chain.
Exactly. Jamie.
Well, we've been documenting Denny Hamlin's race all day. Fast car, no clutch from the beginning, Denny. But that last stop, take us through it. What exactly led to this point and you being out of the race?
Yeah, it just I think eventually broke the transaxle trying to leave the stall there. So unfortunate for the Progressive Toyota team. Just really fast.
Broken axle.
Can't keep
Denny.
Right now.
We'll see you at the All-Star race next week.
You know what you want yet?
Thanks, Jamie. Tough day for Denny Hamlin with no clutch. Shane Van Gisbergen will get the free pass on this, the 6th caution flag of the day. "59 laps to go in Kansas." We'll take you Fox side by side.
Every day, they protect the land we call home. Their dedication is why we race free. They're our neighbors, friends, and fellow fans. They put it all on the line. So when the green flag flies, we do too. NASCAR Salutes, together with Coca-Cola, honors those who serve at home and abroad.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance, the attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado, because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
Iced tea? Come on, Liquid Death. This is like my grandma's energy drink.
This is Indy's champagne. It doesn't come from Champagne, France, but from the southern region, of this Holstein dairy cow. Rich, smooth, and best paired with victory.
Welcome to Truck Country. Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
57 laps to go. Let's check in with Josh.
Well, Brad Keselowski was having such a strong run out there. First of all, could you feel the tire going down, and how do you process this tough end to it? What was a good day for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good day. It was going to be a great day. I felt like we had a shot to win with the Lager Ford Mustang, and pretty car. It's not pretty anymore. Yeah, no, I didn't really have much of a warning. I just wanted to turn one. I heard a big boom, and around it went. So it's unfortunate, you know, we're playing to win, and we're right in the spot to do just that, and didn't come together.
Glad you're okay, Brad. Thanks.
Thanks, Josh. Wow.
It has been a heck of a string of bad luck for Brad and this 6 team, but glad to see them have the speed today. That's definitely something that we haven't seen out of that 6 car over the last, well, really the start of the season. We haven't seen the speed like he had today, so that's a sign of good things to come, hopefully.
All right, we're going to have the choose this time by. Then we're going to have another look at what happened that ended up with Kyle Busch going for that wild slide. Might not have been 3 cars, might have been 4 involved. But first, let's see. As Larson takes the inside, Logano goes to the outside, and Bell follows him. So that will put Alex Bowman on Larson's bumper for the restart. Let's hear Josh Berry's radio, and then we'll have another look here. And here's what he's talking about.
Yeah, it looks like the 21 and the 1. The 21 is in a spot where he's got 2 cars below him, gets kind of shoved up into the 1 car. And then it looks like the 1 might have swerved at him there a little bit, and that's what started that chain reaction there with the 8.
Yeah, you can see it right here.
Oh, great onboard.
Here's Kyle Busch's view.
All right. 55 to go.
A 4-car incident put us under the 6th caution flag of the day. Green flag waves, and Logano may get the better of Larson.
Wow.
Well, that bottom line is
look at Briscoe.
Now, Chase Briscoe on the
3 wide.
Of Alex Bowman, as you see
3 wide for the race lead.
On the outside of Joey Logano.
Maybe, or not quite.
Crash off turn 2. 2 cars got squeezed up and into the wall.
Jones and Haley.
Justin Haley. Looks like
Oh, and Bubba got a piece of it.
Bubba Wallace. We're still wrecking down here in turn 3.
Hangs on to it.
A lot of right front damage on Bubba Wallace here.
How many times do we
Haley against the fence.
Cautions breed cautions. The restarts here are like nowhere else.
Well, there's just so much room on the racetrack. You can run from the wall to the white line, so you have so many options as a driver. But
toe links broke on Bubba's car.
To the exit of turn 2, and you have to know that the
Justin taking a page from Kyle Busch's book.
Cars are around you.
Seen Kyle do this more than once.
7th caution flag of the day. Now, what's Haley? Well, okay, let's show you what happened first. Wow.
Look at this. What happened?
5 wide.
Looking at 5 wide.
Yeah, there's Haley and Jones. Bubba just behind him, so. Yep. 5 wide just didn't work. Dylan got a piece of it.
Haley clipped the right rear of Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace finishes his wreck down here in turn 3.
Yeah, we're really lucky there's not more cars involved.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah. There's so many lanes on this. Every lane is usable.
Now,
That's both RCR cars within 2 wrecks of one another. That's heavy contact with those two.
Eric Jones' view. Boom.
Honestly, this has been the story of Kansas the last couple of years. The first 2 stages run pretty much clean. And then the third stage just, well, this is what you get.
You see that barely clip Bubba Wallace right there, turning him into the wall.
Yeah, the 23 smoked the wall pretty good.
There's Michael McDowell.
Oh, not good. Whew, we made it.
Yeah, and I think what started that was Corey Heim. The nose took off on him, and he got into the car above him, and that's what.
Like I said, Haley took a page out of Kyle Busch's book.
Justin Haley from the accident scene came in reverse all the way around the track to his pit stall, because the rule is if you can drive away from the incident, you can return to your pit for repairs. Now, from the driver's seat, he doesn't know how badly damaged that car is or whether or not they can make repairs, but he wants to give them every opportunity to get him back out on the racetrack. And that's a lot better than if they have to pick him up, in which case they would have to tow him to the garage area. Larry Mack, what are all these caution flags doing for our fuel strategy?
Well, when we had our 4th caution, it was about 30 minutes ago, there was a lot of concern about fuel. We have only realistically barely run 3 green flag laps. I feel good and safe and confident now with all these caution laps. We'd run 12 before this caution, that everybody should be able to make it now with ease. But that doesn't account for an overtime, Mike.
Okay.
Man, this is like deja vu from last weekend, Kevin. We were down here in Texas. Everybody's minding their P's and Q's, kind of single file, spread out all around the racetrack. 1 caution, all hell breaks loose.
And it's because these guys know that they have to be aggressive on those starts, but not a lot of give right now.
All right, you saw Corey Heim's view, windshield of what that crash looked like. Let's get his radio.
Not much is really done. I mean, 42 is inside of me. At one point we were 5 wide, went back and forth. Yeah. I mean, I was giving the 42 as much room as I could while standing under the guy outside of me, so can't really do a whole lot there.
Wait a minute, is that
when he looks at it, he'll probably
former Truck Series driver TJ Bell?
I think a little bit different. I think it
spotter of
there's so
Corey Heim there.
There's not a lot of space right there, and there's so much happening all at one time. So, in his defense, I mean, there is.
Where's Hamill? I need Hamill to let me know.
To digest all at once.
I need him to let me know if that's right.
Spotter and Booty Barker.
Or is that
the crew chief for Corey Heim this weekend? We are under caution once again.
Or is it?
At Napa, we're the pros that know how to make your business our business. Pros everywhere you need us, with every part you need. From brake pads to stock your shop in Orange County, California,
brake pads,
to oil filters for your fleet in Orange County, Florida. It's why we built a nationwide network of parts and exceptional service, all driven by one mission: to keep businesses big, small, and everything in between moving full speed ahead.
What you want to do is save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
That's great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging into the green?
I can ask, but he's not going to. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Huge news. You can get a Son of Meat for just $3. Wait, I said son of... Look at the words. Son of Baconator is $3. Thank you. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
Hey, the zombies.
Every day, they protect the land we call home. Their dedication is why we race free. They're our neighbors, friends, and fellow fans. They put it all on the line. So when the green flag flies, we do too. NASCAR salutes, together with Coca-Cola, honors those who serve at home and abroad.
The greatest spectacle in racing. We are green.
33 drivers are going to sprint into the eye of a tornado.
Let's go. It's the biggest race of the year. It's the most historic.
Cannot on the inside, pass in the grass.
The Indianapolis 500.
$50 laps to go in the Advent Health 400 in Kansas. Let's take a look at what's coming around the turn. Next Sunday, the NHRA is back in action at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. For us, it's the NASCAR All-Star Race Weekend. Coverage Friday through Sunday on the Fox networks, with the All-Star Race Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. And of course, Sunday, May 25th, the Indianapolis 500 comes to Fox. Coverage begins at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. The greatest spectacle in racing.
Looking forward to that one.
Restart comes with, what, 51 to go, I believe.
That's right. 600. Take that one in a bit.
That's a great day to be a race fan.
51 or 50.
Monaco, Indy, end with a 600.
Well, my day is going to start off on a boat and a lake. I'll be watching that 500 out there.
You probably won't even make it to the 600, but
oh, that's a long day.
yeah, that's
a thing.
All right.
Kyle Larson ranks
49 to go as we get the green. Larson, Bell, Bowman, Logano, Blaney, Briscoe. Larson again fires off good that time. So he did the previous restart. Bowman going to try to clear Bell for second. Nope, there goes Reddick hanging onto it. Catches it. Gillen got a piece of it too. Here's that orange car. Priest through the middle. Look who else is into the mix. I noticed two other guys back there. Hocevar and Busher. Ooh, Logano may have gotten the fence. Briscoe 3 wide. Briscoe up to 4th.
Cleared both of them. Halfway down the straightaway.
Hendrick versus Gibbs at the front. 2 Gibbs, 2 Hendrick. And then 4 Fords.
Yeah, and it wasn't long ago we were talking about Chase Briscoe and just being happy with the backside of the top 10 finish. Now
nobody pitted under this yellow joker. That wasn't in the incident.
Blaney alongside Hocevar with Busher, and further back there's the
Chastain, Cindric, Berry.
With Cindric up above, and Chastain. Whoa.
Yeah, you see that 21 get tight right there under the 2 of Austin Cindric.
I don't know. I don't think this race is over yet.
The 5 car is what wears out, Clint. You see him in the middle of the racetrack.
Teammates battle hard there for 6.
As high as you can to save that right rear tire. You see him.
I know these cautions have hurt us, the 12 car, you know. We had definitely had a better long run car, but here comes Carson Hocevar, winner from yesterday's truck race.
A lot of cars did a good job saving it. Look up here in the top of your screen.
Oh yeah, checked up and Chastain got into the back of him.
And the 1 car got into the back of the 45 car and all but turned him.
Yeah, watch this. Watch back in the back. Chastain. Hold on to it.
Hocevar might get them both right here if Logano drags Blaney back. Nope, Hocevar likes to stay the high lane.
You see Bowman try to time it right
there we go.
Kyle Larson has been waiting until deep in this restart.
Blaney gets clear.
That strategy, that's the 3rd time in a row that's
under a second among the top 3.
Launch that car out. Now
Blaney won the battle with Logano, and that allowed Hocevar to come up on the inside and take the spot away from the 22. That's now 7th place.
We haven't heard a lot about Carson Hocevar as we've gone through this day, but he's solid inside the top 10, running 7th.
They run ARCA this weekend too.
A wild last lap finish with Lane Riggs. Had a great week.
Because that's the only other race that's run this weekend.
Week in Texas.
Only Trucks and Cup here this weekend. No Xfinity.
Yeah, and as fast as that 6 car was earlier, even though we think that the air pressure might have been too low, there has to be something that transfers in between those teams. We saw Chris have some trouble earlier in the race on pit road and has steadily started to work his way back towards the front of the field.
Yeah, all the RFK cars have had speed today. Keselowski as high as 2nd and Priest currently 5th. Jamie.
Yeah, Alex Bowman, the best.
Hello, Alex.
Third right now. It's a battle of the dirt trackers up front. They had high hopes coming in. Blake Harris, his crew chief, told me this morning intermediate tracks is their strength, and they really felt like they had something they could compete.
The question is,
their teammate Kyle Larson,
is everybody good on fuel? I know Larson's crew said they were right on their number.
Jamie, just to update Chris Buescher, who we mentioned had a bad pit stop earlier, has been working on the car throughout the day. A pit stop
Fastest car that time by was Bell in the top 10.
Rear shock adjustment, figuring that they could get the track position back and that the only way they'd be good enough to keep it in the top 10 was to do that. It's worked out. He had fallen back to somewhere around the early 20s after that stop, and now he's back up in the top 10.
8th right now for Buescher. He's the 3rd Ford in the race.
40 to go.
Chevrolet, 1st, 3rd, and 7th. 40 laps to go. Larry, what are the trends?
Well, Mike, I'm sad to say this will be my last race trend of 2025. We don't have trends for the All-Star race, but I went back and looked at the last 6 Kansas races with the Gen 7 car. Average of the last caution, we're all but right there.
All but there would be 3 laps, basically.
But 2 out of the last 3 races here at Kansas, including a year ago, we had a caution that sent us into overtime.
Okay.
So the mixed
Yeah, last trends for 2025.
What you telling me?
You better believe it, because I think it got enough fuel to go the distance.
Well, if this race does wind up going green, I think that the interesting piece of the puzzle is knowing Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell all day have fallen off at the end of these runs. So
Exactly, Kevin. You just said it. You just said what I was thinking. If this runs long,
Do you pull the reins on Larson now and have him ease?
we've seen Larson fall off. We've seen Bell fall off. Question is, who steps up to jump that?
Jumped up and was quite a bit faster, but he was matching their lap times. I say there's Bell and Bowman behind him, and I think that's exactly what happens right now. Just keep the distance the same.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at 2 of them, Port. Blaney being one, Bowman being the other. But I don't know what Briscoe and Priest, and I don't know what those guys have, because we haven't watched them up there, so. I don't know what happened to Chase Elliott. Chase had the one bad stop where he fell back to 12th, but he's not been able to make up anything after that. Stuck back there battling St. Smith for 12th.
Bubba's team had an equipment interference penalty on the first caution of the day back at lap 8, and have been working their way back toward the front ever since. Larry Mack?
Yeah, I've been watching the 5-car Kyle Larson.
Barry trying to recover 2 from his penalty on the stop.
When he gets out of the throttle, he comes
They up to 14th, trying to get to 13th there.
a little bit through the middle of the corner, and then he doesn't just stab the throttle. He eases back into it, where Bale is nailing the throttle, but the bottom line is Larson's still faster.
Well, we'll see. Because the question is when is that plateau going to hit? That's going to be the question I'm looking at here, is when does that plateau hit for Larson, where that wear starts to level out. But he'll start coming back.
Go back to it a little bit sooner, get a little bit of throttle down, and that really spikes that minimum speed up.
Good battle here. Chase Elliott, Zane Smith, Josh Berry as they fight for 12th place.
Well, both of those cars have had some trouble on pit road. The 9 and the 21 you see in the screen. Zane Smith, he's had a pretty solid day all day. We talked well about his car yesterday, and that has carried over into the race today.
Well, heartbreaker for Chase Elliott and everybody on the 9 car. Struggles in the pits. I mean, that car was your leader when that happened.
Very 2 for 1, maybe? Nope, he's going to get 1.
At the exit of the corner.
That's it, near, not clear. That was close.
Got one of them.
Kyle Larson out front now by a second and a half. This trend, is this disturbing that his lead continues to grow? Does that indicate he's not conserving this car?
I think
so.
He's conserving, and it's still growing.
I don't
Yeah.
think he's conserving it.
You don't?
Well, I just...
You gotta watch it, though. I mean, if it goes green to the end, we've seen them fall off. We've seen it happen in stage 2. I'd be worried about that.
That's sometimes when you have a car that you know falls off at the end, you want to get as far out in the front as possible to see if you...
Had a flat that put him a lap down under green final. Had a flat, spun a little bit at pit entry, and
a very consistent save strategy. And if there is a save strategy, he's still got some room that he can give up.
That's what I was going to say. There's 2 ways of looking at it.
And again, this lap, he is a 10th faster than Bell and Bowman. Joey Logano and Tyler Reddick have been battling back and forth for 9th place. That's been the best battle on the racetrack for a couple of laps here.
Yeah, Byron's basically been trying to make up that since then, so...
Well, let's listen to Cliff Daniels and get his take.
Everything you're doing looks great. You've been a 10th and a half faster than them for about the last 6 or 8 laps. Just stay underneath the tire. Everything you're doing looks really, really good. Keep it up.
And they know that, right? Everything that we're talking about.
Well, we'll see. It's just going to be a matter of when that plateau hits. We've seen the car fall off. It's just a matter of when it falls off, and is there enough time for those behind him to run him down before the end of the race? That's going to be the question.
And when he's talking about driving underneath the limit of the tire,
Right now, it doesn't look like that car has lost any speed yet.
Don't slide the back. Just go as fast as it'll go without any of either one of those.
Oh, look at that.
Well, I hope he doesn't see this.
Led the most laps of the last 5 races, has not gone on to win this race.
Today, Larson's led 191 so far, but in the last 5 races here, the driver leading the most laps has not ended up in victory lane.
192 of the 240 laps.
Yeah, I'd say that's about to change today.
Pretty amazing.
Well,
Brian Preece
it could change. I mean, for Kyle, that everything goes fine to these last 28 laps.
Closed right up on him, but they are 4.5 seconds behind Kyle Larson. And there's a look at Preece's day.
And it's just going to be a matter of, we'll see. I know we know there's going to be a
already had it not been for that disqualification. Tyler Reddick and John Hunter Nemechek. Here's Nemechek.
Decent run for Nemechek.
Top 10 at least momentarily.
Trying to see if he could take 10th from Reddick.
Nemechek's been coming hard over the last 10 or 12 laps or so, leaving nothing on the table.
Nemechek's doing a great job, but I am really surprised in how that 45 car is running today. I know
Lap times.
Like it's a horrible day, but it is with the expectation.
So far, no plateau yet out of the 5.
In 23:11. I mean, these guys are usually lights out here. Bubba had trouble on pit road, but this 45 has definitely not had the speed.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know, Bumble.
So hard to finish those.
See, the problem is how many cars are on the lead lap.
On the middle lane right there, we
That's my issue there.
That momentum that this top lane carries makes it so difficult to finish that pass anywhere underneath.
Honestly, you can't win the race if you do what the leader does. You do the opposite of what the leader does. Leader stays out, you come in. If he comes in, you stay out. You're not going to win. You're not going to beat the leader doing what the leader does.
And Josh Berry are closing in on this duo.
Well, those are two of the best cars in the field. We talked earlier about Chase Elliott leading this race earlier on. Josh Berry having plenty of capability in that car. It's just had one thing or another not work out his way and a penalty on pit road. So two of the
big battle between those. Ooh, Chase got sideways. A little bit there off that corner allows Berry to take the spot.
Berry up to 12th. Nemechek tries it again, drops to the bottom.
Leads about a second and a half. Bell a little quicker than Larson that time.
And I think the longer that this goes, and we see Logano right
Blaney quick too there.
In the mix, in front of these guys, starting to fade a little bit as this run goes on.
Reddick, big run on the high side there.
But it's a 2nd and 7/10 with 22 to go.
Going to be a slow car on the bottom. That's where Josh Berry wants to run. Yeah. Dustin Haley staying out of harm's way, and that threesome closes up.
As you start to look at the lap times, I mean, the last time by, 2.5 tenths there. Larson over Bell.
Eric Jones back.
21 to go now.
Back in 2009, Jimmy Johnson led 197 laps at Kansas. Kyle Larson has just led 199, making 200, the most laps any driver has ever led in a race.
Most laps led by any driver here at a Kansas race.
Well, we've seen that happen with Kyle Larson in so many places that we've really, whether it's a short track, the super speedways have probably.
Seems like when they dominate too, you know.
In any other racetrack that we go to, at some point we've had this same conversation about Kyle Larson.
20 laps to go in Kansas, so in case you missed it, AJ Allmendinger blew up early. William Byron blew a tire, all in stage number 1.
That did not bring out a yellow, by the way.
For Byron, we continued on, and Larson won the stage, not only stage 1 but stage 2. Lap 194, Brad Keselowski running second, closing on.
Honestly, could argue that was the defining moment of the race was Brad's tire problem.
Here, grinds up the transmission and is out of the race. Kyle Busch in a 4-wide group of cars, bang, 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 and Busch goes for a wild slide, does a great job of missing the inside wall. But he is now 23rd. Then this multi-car wreck at lap 213 put Bubba Wallace out of the race. And
19, now 18 to go.
Along with Hamlin, Keselowski, and Allmendinger.
Safar and Berry. Berry's on the move right now. At 21, jumped into the top 10. Just took the 9th position.
But I promise you, all those crew chiefs on pit road are thinking, what if the caution comes out? Because
Larry's thinking the same thing, which what me and Bubba were just talking about. What do you do if the yellow comes out?
The threshold of anybody staying out if we get that caution, but I think the debate will be 2 tires or 4 tires. Go back to this race a year ago. It was cool. It was at night. 50 laps on their tires. The caution came out that sent us in overtime. The top 3 did 2 right side tires only. I think that's going to be a tough decision if we get this late race caution.
So Larry, you don't see.
I think the question is if we don't get the race yellow, what happens?
Tires. Is there any chance you'd come in like the modified guys do and just change rears?
I'd never say never. You've taught me that in 25 years, but we haven't seen that since Martinsville about 30 years ago when Harry Hyde did it.
That's right. Well, who knows? I don't know. What do you think, fellas?
Barry's on the move right now.
You got 21 cars on the lead lap, so that's 10 rows of cars on the restart. You're going to fan out 4 wide.
Well, before you go there, if I'm Larson, I don't want to caution him. If anybody else, I want to caution an opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that the big thing is on the restarts when you have those 2 tires. And like Larry said today, I mean, it's warmer. We have a lot of laps on those left side tires. So how does it fire off? That's really the big thing that the 4 new tires do. But I always wanted 4.
This is a day of what could have been for this 21 Wood Brothers car. Those guys last drove up through the field.
I can agree with you on that one, Clint.
Very impressed with this car.
Like I said they were going to be a force on these 1.5-mile tracks this year.
It really has. And
from the win at Vegas, I said it. They had a good run going at Texas, spun out while leading. Then had the pit penalty here. They're definitely going to be, I think, the team to watch on these 1.5 for 100% for sure.
You're going to mature. You're going to start to really understand what you need to be doing. But the biggest thing that they have is speed, and that is the part that is always the hardest to find.
Eric Jones returns to the garage and out of the race. Did not get that car up to minimum speed after making repairs. So
yeah, Jones out.
The health car is parked for the day. 13 laps to go. For Kyle Larson,
it's about 2 seconds.
The 3rd of 11 straight days he'll be in a race car. Between the Cup car, the Indy car, and the high limit sprint car. He is racing all around the country over the next 11 days.
That's just a normal week.
That's a normal week for Kyle Larson.
He goes and races anything that he can
12 to go.
Kokomo, Indiana, and the sprint car tomorrow night, and then it's off to Indy.
Well, here's Friday night, right?
Tell you what, 3rd place is tightened up. 0.6 of a second between Bowman and Blaney. Those 3.
Started pole there, didn't he?
Well,
0.6 to half a second.
With one on his roof. Well, watch this. Rico Abreu to the inside of Kerry Madsen. They get together. That's Larson's brother-in-law, Sweet, flipping. Larson slid into Madsen. Heavy wing damage, right? Boo! No, that was Sweet. There's Larson. Good old racetrack right there, Kevin.
Yeah.
A lot of good memories at that place.
I had a friend who called me and said, go drive my car, and I looked like a complete fool. A complete fool over there one night, but I won't mention any names, but he's standing pretty close to me.
And here's Larson's schedule.
It'll be 10 to go for Larson here in Kansas.
The Indy 500 and Coca-Cola 600, both on May 25th, the Memorial Day weekend double.
Big month for him, big opportunity.
Barry gonna go get himself another one.
Gets another chance at it. Don't count that kid out.
Last year here, Chris Buescher was racing for the win with Kyle Larson. 1/1000th of a second separated them.
So he's gonna end up at least running 8th at this point.
Buescher racing Josh Berry for 7th place. Bowman and Blaney, this is for 3rd.
I've been watching this 12 car too. He got Priest, he got Briscoe. Now he's trying to see if he can get Bowman.
So, in typical fashion of Ryan Blaney and this 12 team, long, deep.
Well, you're gonna need a solid pit stop because at this point you're gonna pit. If you stay out, you're getting blown. Your door's blown off on a restart here.
See Alex Bowman fighting hard for that last spot.
It's going to slow his progress down a lot. You were right, Kevin. It was 2 to 3 tenths. He was catching everybody in this whole front of the field. May have had a chance to catch 2nd place. Bell, not with.
Yeah, like I said, I'll take a top 5 finish, a podium if we can get Bowman here. But God, I really want to win though.
That slowed them down 4 tenths for him, 3 tenths for the pair of them.
Yeah, you see Blaney drive it in there that time, going to slide up into that top lane. Bowman.
The problem is those top 2 cars are not falling off like I thought they would.
Ryan Blaney makes that pass.
Kyle Larson's going to start to get into some lap traffic here. And they are single file and they're spread out pretty well. Jesse Love, the first one to go another lap down to the race leader. So.
Oh, he was like 85. I think it was 85 points they showed at the start meet. 85 points above the cut line.
3-car battle that I've been keeping my eye on, just looking, hey, if there's going to be a caution, how's it going to happen? And these guys have been at it.
Ooh, Hocevar had a moment.
Yeah, it looks like Hocevar that just went off the screen. had some trouble right
I think he had a moment off that corner and had to back out of it.
He lost a lot of ground right there.
With 6 to go, how about Corey Heim? His first scheduled race with 23:11.
Bell knocked it under 2 seconds, but
I just
he really needs to be gaining more as we come to 5 to go. So
all the chances that he's had, which have been, I think this is his 4th Cup start, he's made something out of those days, and he's raced today a lot like he does in that truck, just a grinder and keeps going forward.
yeah, I know. It's really right on screen, Bubble.
Learn everything you can do against the best there is, and Ford progression proves that. Started 24th up to 13th. Great job.
And we don't see many of these young kids come into the Cup Series races and have days where they're going
Briscoe around Bowman.
15. That hasn't happened much.
Alex Bowman's been in the wall. Chase Briscoe goes by, and Bowman drops to 5th.
Front end took off on him.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And the wall is where Carson Hocevar is right now. Brushed up against it. Hocevar back in 21st.
Yeah, this is what happened to Carson.
Got up and into it right there.
I think the right front tire's coming apart on that car.
Looks like it.
Yeah, look at this.
He's got a flat. Yeah, he's got a flat.
Keep an eye on this car. It's definitely.
Oh, if he's got a flat, that tire comes apart.
I want to see is that tire come apart and have to throw a debris caution.
They're telling him to get down off the racetrack. That's
Be three laps to go.
Support. He's in the wall, guys. He's going to get it down. No caution so far.
Larson comes across the line with
Oh, can he get it to pit road?
and Hocevar makes it to the pit.
He got there. He got there.
On the racetrack.
Dodged a bullet there if you're the 5 team. 3 to go.
That's one tire problem, though.
Hopes of a lead lap finish are dashed.
Gonna have to keep an eye on that as we come to 2 to go.
With 2.5 to go. And Larson, very little traffic.
It's smooth sailing for him. There's nobody fighting him behind him, but the question is, tail end of these runs, we've seen a lot of people slip.
Exactly. Does something happen here? If it happens, it's gonna have to happen here before the white flag.
Get this thing official. Been a dominant day for him, guys.
He really has.
He's also, I noticed he's running lower on the racetrack too.
First stage win, second stage win, the point for the fastest lap of the race, and the victory a lap and a half away.
All right, white flag, last lap.
Right here.
It happens now.
And that's all Kyle Larson was looking for. He just wanted to get to that white flag to capitalize on a day that has just been absolutely
See him
dominant.
way down off the racetrack.
Yeah, he is way low. Oh,
A lot of rubber coming off
a lot of rubber coming off the right front there.
1.1 second lead on Christopher Bell and a couple of lap cars.
He's got trouble with the lap cars.
Oh, the right front's down?
The track, it's just like Hocevar. You see the rubber coming off that right front?
Here he comes.
Oh, wow, the right front was down. He made it, but the tread was gone. The tread was going away on that. I knew that he was running lower. I see he was running lower, but yeah, you can see the tread was coming off the right front. Wow.
3/4 of a second is the official margin of victory as Kyle
Almost had the tire come apart. He's lucky this race wasn't like 5 laps longer because he would have lost that race. But Blaney and Bell were both there. Wow.
uniforms indicating for them it's a home game as Rick Hendrick has dealerships in the metro Kansas City area. Larson last won 2 races ago at Bristol. It's his 3rd victory of the season, tying Christopher Bell for the most of all drivers. Bell got so close.
God damn it, Larson, you ruined our B streak. Look at all the finishers behind Larson.
3 victories ties Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson.
Damn it, Kyle. You had to ruin our fun, didn't you? You had to ruin the B line there. Bell, Blaney, Briscoe, Bowman, Berry. 2nd through 6. Well, I noticed it. I noticed the way the line he was running is like I thought something was off because he was running lower on the racetrack, and he was running lower on the racetrack, and the interval wasn't dropping that much, so I didn't think anything of it. And then they come off turn 4, they showed the thing. It was like, oh crap!
Put this car on the pole in the dominant fashion that we know and have seen out of this race car. As a competitor, you know you're in big trouble. That car was extremely absolute dominant day.
No, I think it's still Coda.
Kansas.
I think it's still Coda.
Indianapolis, right out the windshield.
Texas is still the bottom one. Still the worst race.
In racing's biggest.
Texas is the worst, and Coda was.
Set to try to win them all. Fourth win of the season for Hendrick Motorsports and their 10th at Kansas. Chase Elliott had a chance. A bad pit stop took him from contention. Christopher Bell closing in at the finish. But there is your Kansas winner, Regan Smith.
Well, Kyle Larson was an absolutely dominant performance. He had control of the race for the majority of it. Did lose control briefly for a moment there towards the end after the final pit stop, and then a long run at the end. How much were you managing the tires and managing the race at the end there?
Yeah, I was trying really hard to pace myself because I believe that was our longest run of the day, and I've been struggling a little bit these runs. You know, Chase was really good, and so I felt like I just needed to be better on my end. And I don't know if it was paying off or not at the end. I was still struggling. I don't know if the right front was starting to wear a lot or what, but I was starting to lose a lot of grip, and then I was vibrating really bad, so I was afraid of right rear or something would let go. So, but yeah, great car, great execution today too for our team. Thanks to Intercars.com, Valvoline, Prime, all you race fans too for coming out. You know, this is awesome weather to get to watch a cool race. So. Glad to not win by an inch right here this time, and a little bit safer gap. But thanks again to the team. Congrats to all Hendrick Motorsports, the engine shop, everybody there.
You start what is the middle, or you're in the middle of what is a very busy month of May for you right now. To start to have this momentum and carry it the rest of the way through, how does that help?
Yeah, I don't know. It's got to help a little bit, but it's so different at Indy, and the cars are different. But yeah, I look forward to getting there. We're gonna fly there tonight. Celebrate with Caitlin. Happy Mother's Day, Caitlin. All the moms out there, my mom especially. So, yeah, it's a cool to win here in Kansas, and now we'll try to execute 2 good weeks there at Indy.
Kyle Larson, your winner at Kansas on Mother's Day.
And Christopher Bell finishes second, his best effort ever at Kansas. Those closing laps, we just heard Kyle say he was struggling. Do you feel like if you had a couple more laps, you may have had something for him?
Well, I was surprised that he kind of gave up on the top those last couple laps and pulled down, but I was struggling just as bad as he was, so I was just trying to get to the end. I know Ryan was coming on really strong there, so overall, to get home second with a lot of stage points was something that we needed after the last couple weeks, and this Reese's Camry was just not quite what we needed. I don't know. I feel like our day was kind of a product of qualifying well, having good pit stops, having good restarts, and nothing really took us out of it. So, I don't know. Whenever the green flags, the long green flag runs came, it seemed like we were going backwards, and there were a couple guys that could drive by us. So, yeah, to walk out of here second, I'm really happy with, and hopefully we can be a little bit stronger when we come back.
Well done. That's Christopher Bell, Mike.
Thanks, Jamie. Let's take a look back at the final restart, because that's where this race was won.
Well, we saw Kyle Larson, and his strategy was to go late in the box. You see that gap between the 5 and the 48. What he does is just kind of wait for the 48 to hit the bumper. You see him try to time it, but it shoots the 5 out. He did that like the last 3 restarts, and it really broke everything up because the outside line would have to wait, and it would shoot him out to clear the outside car.
That's teamwork at its finest right there.
Damn.
Boom.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
See ya.
There you see him coming to the line after.
Yeah, another lap or two. I was gonna say another lap or two. He was not gonna win that race.
Well, much like Mike Bell, I
Wow.
saw the same thing. I saw him pull off the outside wall, and I was thinking, well, maybe he's just doing that to be safe. But then he went clear to the bottom, and it's really slowed down. That got interesting.
Well, this rivalry, it's building. This is the 4th time, Chris, that Larson and Bell have finished 1-2. Larson with 3 of those 4 wins.
Mike, yeah, I think we had a little bit of an audio issue. Sorry about that. Now, Mike, it's interesting that between Larson and Bell, they have won half of the 12 races that we have run so far in victory lane with Jamie McMurray. And here comes
Possible championship battle between Bell and
we just heard from him moments ago. Over 220.
Bell and Larson.
And widely viewed as the most talented driver, has that 2021 Cup championship, and on a roll coming in. And he had led laps before Jamie.
Possibly.
Talked about it, but it seems like he's getting better at finishing races, handling situations, regardless of the track or the competition.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of Larson's credit of his ability in a car isn't just because what he can do in NASCAR. It's what he does in sprint cars. It's what he did, in the Indy 500 last year. Going back, we just talked about that doing it again here in just a few weeks. I mean, it just seems like whatever kind of car Kyle gets in, he does really well. But he managed the race, did a tremendous job today. And it didn't appear that he had the best car on the long run. The cautions worked in their favor a little bit. They got a little bit lucky at the end of stage 2 to make it to the end on those tires. I thought that Denny Hamlin maybe had the best car, had some issues, with the transaxle, wasn't able to finish. But Larson, I mean, what can you say? It's been a pretty exceptional year for him.
Yeah, already in a clean race for him and his pit crew. We anticipated, like last year and even on the front row, a kind of a Larson-Busher battle, and it ended up being, as we saw at the end, it wasn't much of a battle. It was really from the closest finish ever in NASCAR to a wide blow-away victory, wide-open victory for Kyle Larson. We're going to hear more from Victory Lane in a moment. Let's check in with Josh Sims.
Well, Chris, Ryan Blaney comes home 3rd, ties a career best finish here for Kansas. But how would you evaluate your day?
Yeah, overall good day. I think we were 3rd in both stages and finished 3rd, and honestly we're kind of running those guys down quick there at the end, the last handful of laps, and I just kind of restarted too far back and had to make up a lot of ground. It took a while for my car to come in. I think 5 more laps I probably would have scared the 5 a little bit at least, but I'm really proud of the 12 boys today. Appreciate the Worth group being on board, Ford, Menards, the Dex Imaging. Everybody, really good last couple weeks. Bringing fast race cars. Hopefully we can continue to do that, keep learning, and move forward. But overall, a really good weekend.
Strong day for Ryan Blaney and this 12 team.
Thank you very much. And moments ago, you saw the confetti flying, and we mentioned clean race while other people have had some tire problems, Jamie, or some issues with their cars or pit crews. The guys up there supporting the HendrickCars.com 5-car,
Well,
Kyle Larson and victory.
Yeah, I mean, Brad Keselowski,
I'm gonna head out of here so I can eat, guys. So,
Navy had a car that could
you know,
with Kyle Larson had the
I'll jump on out of here.
ended his day, and I mean, tires were the story in practice and qualifying yesterday. We saw a lot of
Throw this up here.
It seemed like as the race went on, the crew chiefs maybe got a little more aggressive.
And I'm gonna jump on out of here.
Overall, I mean, it was interesting to see the strategy play out and how
See you guys.
the crew chiefs got with that.
Yeah, the late cautions and the restarts. He had to hold off.
Bye-bye.
At one point, and